Now, we start moving up to kind of this, I think it's fair to say, the tier 2, the tier 1.5 level that we're seeing now between Hard Legion and Fate. And I mean, Hard Legion just had one of those games, but I don't feel like, I mean, let's not say that. They shouldn't, flat out shouldn't, be in a situation where they whiff these first few rounds. If they do, then yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, we've kind of shown our opinions on it, but our partners over at LootBet have a much stronger opinion, it seems. We're kind of flip-flopping between the two teams. They seem very convinced that Fate can take this map.
So LootBet's just said 2-0 Hard Legion, let's go. Oh no, sorry, 2-0 Fate.
Yeah, they're in favor of the other side, the Bulgarians.
Crab not able to find anything there. Takes a couple of bullets behind him, but none of them connect. It's going to be one of the solo defending players on the Beast site. A little bit of fancy footwork there from Fate, but it's only going to turn into a single frag there for Blocker. Takes out Forrester. Pistols now going to begin their rotation around from the A site onto Beast. Viat takes down one, make that a second onto Hearn, and okay, Crad picks up one, Kinky another, and this round's fallen apart for Fate. Only Nicky remaining now in a 1v4. They gained a lot of ground on the B-bomb site, but they weren't able to solidify that bomb plant.
Yeah, a really, really tough position to be in now, falling from the heavens. He does actually get the one kill, and this shot's from the Hard Legion side, but Nicky unable to capitalize. A great bit of repositioning there from, I want to highlight Crad primarily. He spots those players out, he does some fancy footwork and just evades capture, just taking Sanctuary in the heavens, and well, that's what seals the round. Some great shots from Kinky as well, or Sviat, sorry.
Yeah, those openers, it really did put a block in the way of Fate. They weren't expecting the long angle to be held. A couple of taps just to be able to borderline close out the round with those opening frags. Nevertheless, move into round number 2. A very, it's not even a light buy. It's kind of almost a full commitment here from Fate. Only Hahn not committing fully. Everyone else on Deagles right now. Blocker going to be looking for a single player in Brown Halls, but nobody's lurking from Hard Legion. Wasn't all Crad is, but you see Sphere trying to find that into Ivy right now. Blocker does just miss a couple of those Deagle shots. That's what you get for being just too aggressive. That MP9, really, really good up close and personal. 5v4 now. And these Deagles not able to find anything as of yet.
And they've actually got themselves really close to the site. This could get interesting, because Hard Legion, although they've got a lot of presence here, could get caught out by just how quick these Deagles may chase them down. That smoke, Patrick, he tries his chances at it. That was one of the plays that could have swung things back around, but given that the Hard Legion camp are here in numbers, yeah, it's easy enough to clean up for these M4s and SMGs who sweep it all up. No casualties on this Hard Legion side.
Yeah, clean sheet for them. They're going to be happy with that, and this is not the start Fate wanted. Obviously, we were talking about the fact that Fate, they can't let that 16-6 defeat get into their heads. And, well, now only 2 players have fragged so far. And that was in the pistol. Nothing found on that second round. Of course, they were going up against those fully automatics. But moving into round number 3, we're going to be seeing more of the same. They don't have money to be able to commit. This time it looks like they are just going to be sitting back on Glocks. Blocker has a Deagle sort of ships though. I don't want to commit too much into this, but it looks like A main is going to be their domain right now. Crad and Forrester trying to find a pick, but nobody home inside of Apps right now. Kinky, Sviat, Rage, all finding frags of their own, and they make quick work of Fate. A 3rd round for Hard Legion. I'm getting flashbacks right now, Yumi. This is a very similar sort of start than what we saw over on Inferno for Hard Legion, and they weren't able to continue that momentum and see what Fate can do on their first full buy.
Yeah, well, we'll finally get to see Harn on the AWP. The rifles are out in spades for Fate, and while it's a bit of a bonus round from Hard Legion, they actually commit and they buy another rifle over the SMGs, just to make sure that they have the firepower to deal with the approaching push from that T side. A default at hand for the Fate lineup, and Sviat, he's looking to get a bit confident. Yeah, pushing in towards T main, looking for a fight. The Molotov does extinguish, even thought about smoking things out as well. But Fate not going to pounce on it just yet.
Yeah, not as of yet. They are just holding, waiting. Rage off angle here in Sandwich. Trying to find that opening pick in the form of blocker. If he gets a little bit too overzealous, he's going to get sprayed down. Kinky might be the one to find the opener, though. Waiting for the flash. He sees it. He deals a lot of damage. Isn't able to find the kill, though. Rage takes down one. Traded back very quickly from Nicky. He picks up 2 kills off the back. Sviat picks up one of his own, along with Forrester as well. That's the bomb going to be down now. Now just Hearn and Ships. A lot of quick, targeted chaos in those last few seconds, but nothing else really went to the way of fate. It's just going to be Hearn now in a 1 versus 3. Forrester finds another one. If he can't find a frag, it's not going to go too well. He does pick up one in the form of Forrester. The nade not going to work in Krad's favour, but the bomb is still down. Only 30 seconds remaining. Hearn, what a shot onto Krad. Okay, maybe you're actually going to be able to win this round. 2 frags to his name so far. Looking for that third. Bomb is dropped. Doesn't have time for the rotate. Needs to be able to pick this up. Doesn't have any idea where Sviat is here, though, Yumi.
Oh, and he's out of there. He knows that he's somewhere on that A bomb site. He's trying to reposition towards B. Yeah, he'll be able to get this planted, set himself up in a post plant, but hot on his heels is Sviat. The AWP versus the AK. Which one plays into the other? Which one has the read? Harn, opportunity missed with the AWP. Now it's all about whether Sviat can react in time. He has utility. He can flush Harn into the open. He can make it so that it doesn't have to be a straight up gun battle, but Harn trying his best to remain elusive, sitting in the flames for now, dodging the bullets. He's been able to get away from there, but doesn't he have enough time to reposition? Sviat, he taps the bomb. He's still looking to chase down, but Harn, he's taking the high ground. He's looking to take the round, and he does it. The 1 versus 3 from Harn on the AWP on Fate's first gun round.
Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, but as you mentioned, it was Fate's first gun round. The fact that it even came down to a 1 versus 3 does not fill me with too much confidence from Fate, with the exception of Harn, of course. Like, he might be able to carry this game on his back. A great clutch from him. And it looks like a tech pause now. It's a little bit of an issue, but Hard Legion, they've got to go back to the drawing board. Yeah. Definitely not the way they wanted to play that. A couple of whiffs from the 3 remaining players, though.
Some good decisions being made by Fate, though. Some timings being hit where, although we sort of saw that early aggression from Sviat, right? The sort of questioned why he might not put the smoke down. Rage was posted with the AWP. Hard Legion wanted to take that position away from Fate should they go to the A site. But flashes, simultaneous pushes from both A main and Ivy meant that Rage was left out in the open. They get the entry towards Ivy. They find 2 picks on that A bomb site very rapidly. Hard Legion just able to adapt and force that 1 versus 3, which, you know, the numbers advantage should always favor the ones with, well, the favorable numbers. But Harn, just some great shots coming out, and maybe just a small glimpse of what's to come from the Bulgarian Ulper.
Yeah, you can only hope. It's literally all you can do. Hopefully we'll be seeing some more glimmers of light from him, and hopefully some of his other teammates get a bit of a boost. They think, okay, he's doing it. I want to do that as well. I want to get on the leaderboard. Right now, Patrick and Ships still yet to frag, so maybe this will be their round number 5. They are going to have a full buy commitment here, a couple of drops, but they're going to be okay with it. Still a full buy from Hard Legion as well. Still have some money, of course, after winning those 3 rounds relatively convincingly. See if they can put a dampener on Fate's aggression.
Let's see if that's a one-off round as well. Whether that simultaneous timing from them is going to be something we get to see too much of. Krad, interesting idea, pushing through smokes. Is able to get himself out of that position without suffering too much damage. Well, it could have been an early pick for Fate. Instead, it's still equal numbers. Kinky pushed in towards ladder room. A lot of pressure coming his way. The flash works wonders. They get the 2 picks they're looking for over towards A. Rage caught in no man's land. Just the 1 kill, and he's taken down. The rotation's there from the Hard Legion side. And Forrester, he's still dancing on the bomb site, remaining elusive. But now it's just down to Krad. He was the one who took damage at the start of the round. He's the one that has to maybe close it out.
It's not looking particularly likely for him, though, and this is not the way that Hard Legion needed this to go. Looks like that previous clutch from Harn has really changed up how they're playing this. They tried to get aggressive. They tried to get in Fate's face, but it just didn't work out. The fact that Crad took so much damage quite early on into that and then does just teeter off towards the end of the round leads me to believe that Fate, even though one round down, are firmly in the driving seat, at least of the next few. You're not going to be seeing a buy from Hard Legion. Instead, a timeout from Fate. It looks like maybe just deliberating stats. Where do they need to go? How do they want to play this? They know that Hard Legion don't have, well, the best of buys or a buy at all. I'm not surprised that we're seeing Crad commit onto a scout here. We saw some great flourishes of play from him on Inferno. So, see what he can do up against, well, one of these Orcs in the form of Hearn.
Yeah, I want to see where Forrester goes with this Zeus that he's picked up.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? It's not the most standard weapon on this map. Like Inferno, there's certain angles to hold. That's why we saw them picking it up. But where do you go? Just hold close on Ivy, maybe?
Even towards ladder, or like the opening of A ramp at B. It's very limited. That is for sure. Very niche.
I wouldn't say any of those are really like convincing angles, even like the ones you saw on Inferno. So it'd be cool to see if he gets something, though. No question about that.
I think he's actually on the ladder on Heaven at B. I think that's where he's chosen. Yeah, he's on the ladder. He's going for semantics.
I'm not gonna question it.
I'll be upset if he gets a kill.
You're not the only one. It's something that things that shouldn't happen in a CS game. That's like at the top of the list. Get Zeus to other dudes on a ladder. Like,
yep.
No, thank you.
How to make me mad, the bucket list.
That and using any revolver in any game. True. God, look at this angle. I wonder what the inaccuracy is like on a Zeus on a ladder. I don't think I've ever looked into it. But
it is quite significant. It's not the most accurate weapon, but it's still accurate enough that maybe 1 in every 5 times it works every time.
My favourite percentage.
Oh, I don't think Fate are going to fall into that Zeus, so our dreams will continue to be dreams. The stack from Hard Legion over towards B. Patrick deals with the only player at the A bomb site in Crad, and this bomb should be able to get planted pretty quickly. They're even cutting off the flanking potential from these pistols. So far, so good for Fate. So far, a clean anti-eco.
Yeah, Forrester, a true man of taste, saving the Zeus. Doesn't want to try and peek it. Doesn't have armor. Just has the USPS on the Zeus. Wants to make sure that he can save that as much as he can. He wants to find something with it, and he might be able to. He spots out blocker here, but he finds minimal damage, drops him down to 33 HP, but just not going to be enough. It's 3-3 now, Yumi. And Fate very much brought themselves back into this when we moved into the rifle rounds. What are Hard Legion doing wrong? Obviously, the last two have been basically completely on Fate. But I feel like there's something different that Hard Legion can try, right? Because, yeah, they didn't commit fully into that last round. They're not going to be able to do it in this one either. They are just going to have to commit into these pistols once again, but...
Well, I think the CT sides are going to very much revolve around the AWP. That's why we don't see some sort of a commitment into this round. Instead, they went for the half in the round prior. There's definitely a lot to be said for things like that. A nice little nade stack in towards above the ladder room is very, very cute to see. Something that could have caught Fate off guard had there been a player in that position to start things off. A missed Molotov, though, from that Fate side means that the double molly won't quite work out, but Forrester will still go down to the flames.
I can appreciate dedication. Forrester really does love trying to take a fight on a ladder. I don't think there's any question about that. The second time we've seen him try and do that now, but this time he tried a pop dog instead. Doesn't find, I don't think, any damage whatsoever as he rushes up there, but he does fall for his troubles. Now 4 versus 5. Man advantage, of course, going towards the way of Fate. Health advantage, weapon advantage, armor advantage, utility advantage. This round should be theirs. They should take themselves into the lead here. Playing it slow, but Sviat gives away his position. And is about to get absolutely destroyed by 3 of the players holding the angle. Ships picks up 1 more. Yeah, and with the bomb getting attacked, I don't see Kinkui picking up. Oh, okay, no. I take it back.
To see it now, yeah.
I get to see it now. He picked up that lovely 1 dig there and recovered himself an AK. Yumi, you've got to be thinking now, they know they've got to buy for this next round. Did they just attempt to go for the exit frag? So they attempt to just hurt the economy of Fate here, or did they just cut their losses?
Value of the AK. I think cutting their losses, keeping this into the next round, definitely makes a lot of sense because the buy won't be the strongest on players like Sviat, so having a bit more economic leeway certainly helps. Could they get their hands on an AWP here, though? I mean, Rage hears the scoping very intently towards A main. I feel like there's a timing window where that could happen, but I don't think he's going to be able to find it. Yeah.
Cut your losses, miss the first shot, just fall back. It's all good.
So this is where the changes, right, maybe come through. Of course, changing weather, changing rounds, and maybe a change of pace. You can always head over to our partners over at Hellcase, which is the biggest and most well-known case opening website with almost 100 cases, updated case battles, dozens of giveaways per month, and a more absolutely unique features. You won't get bored with Hellcase, and you can use the promo codes to save more and grab what you deserve. And maybe Fate, maybe they deserve to take a firmer lead. They've been good thus far on this T side, and well, it's all on Hard Legion to make these small changes.
They deserve it, but are they going to be able to grab it? That is the real question. The opportunity presenting themselves here on the B site. There's only 2 defending players for Hard Legion right now as one of them begins their rotation round from A. Crad, instead of holding low down, jumps on top of the train. Does get spammed down by Blocker, and it does wonders. Sprays down 3. Is the rotate going to come on through, though? Patrick's picked up 2 on the back of this. Rotate from Rage and Sviat. It needs to be quick. Bomb going to be planted now by Han. And this angle here from Patrick, I don't know if they're going to be expecting him to hold it. Sviat, yeah, definitely not going to be expecting this at all. Can't see him. Oh, does just see him through the smoke, and Sviat is now privy to his location. Nade goes down, but definitely not the position that he wanted it to land. The York has begun its rotate as well. Rage is on the site. He's so close to taking down one of them here. Rage does get tagged down quite low, but it looks like he's still going to go for the bomb. Patrick sprays down Sviat, now on a 1 versus 2. Potentially save the AWP if you can, buddy, but I think you're too low to be able to do anything. You can take out Patrick, and maybe you've had a good round, but that's basically going to be it. Ooh, Han, okay. Tricky time with that one.
I love me a spray down. What an effort from Crad here. The fact it's one man versus that B bomb site. He loses his teammate Blocker. Great entry, but Crad answers back.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And it's just that off angle, right? You usually expect someone to be holding incredibly close towards the bottom of the ramp and then just spray you through the smoke. But he took his time, waited for that smoke to dissipate, caught the guys off guard with basically their trousers firmly around their ankles with utility in hand, and was able to pick up a couple off the back of that. But great lineup from him and a great shot from Han as well. So it looked like Kinky was trying to get up in his face and a little bit aggressive, but didn't work. Only 20 damage to him. And this is, well, lining up to be another Fate round. I believe 6 in a row if they win this.
Yep, that is very much on the cards. B bomb site's open. They just need to make their way over with the bomb to get that one planted. I think they're just they're being extra careful. Of course, they could sneak their way in, and while Krad's shadow gives him away, this is, yeah, looking like that 6 in a row for Fate. It's a hard situation to be in, because I feel like when we went into that first gun round with Fate, Hard Legion had a pretty good setup to initially take those duels. Now they're playing more passive, and Fate are just having their way. They're just taking all the fights. They've got so much confidence now, and that CT side economy can be pretty hard to traverse when your opponents don't even give you time to throw the nades you spent so much money on.
And that's literally what it is, right? They're trying to go for these hyper fast plays, our Hard Legion right now, but they're trying to use their utility in fancy ways, but they're just not getting the opportunity. Fate are 2 steps ahead of them in that regard. They're ready for these angles. They're ready for these eco attempts, and they're able to shut it down before anything really gets started. It's a 6th round for Fate now. As we mentioned, 6 rounds in a row. Hard Legion do finally have a full buy. Let's see what Rage can do on this AWP, of course. Was one of the standout players on Inferno for Hard Legion. Hasn't had that much of an impact as of yet, but maybe that's going to be changing. Sviat, quite aggressive inside of A main, but nobody home as of yet.
Again, they go for a bit of T main pressure this time. Rage doesn't take it up with the AWP, but Sofia gets some early information, shows some early pressure, such that Fate need to retake that position as well. So a lot of those same signs from the first gun round from Hard Legion.
Yep.
This time Fate taking a much different approach. No pressure towards Ivy in this round.
I like this. I really like this from Fate because they aren't doing what Hard Legion did on their first map, right? They're not winning a number of rounds back to back.
All the timing.
They are taking it slow, but maybe just a little bit too slow as Krad's been able to get the bomb down just above Pop Dog. And with the trade frags coming on through as well, they'll just leave ships to potentially win the A site for Fate to have any real stake in this round. I was about to say it was good that they were not underestimating Hard Legion, but the fact they took it just way too slow, Hard Legion were indeed able to capitalise. Rage, does just miss the cross from ships. The timing is perfect. He's not going to miss the... I was about to say he's not going to miss the second time, but he isn't given that opportunity. Just holding Pop Dog. He knows there's only 20 seconds remaining. He needs to cross. Rage, you don't miss those, surely. Yeah, takes down ships. Now just Hearn is going to try and find the bomb, but knife in your hand, bullet to the head. A 4th round for Hard Legion. They finally get themselves back on the board after 6 rounds of absolutely nothing. But that has left Fate to bolster themselves up a pretty decent economic advantage. Hearn, even though he's bought into an AWP, 6k he spent this round, still has 8k in the bank.
Yep, and that's exactly the change we expected to see, right? Not being so passive on this CT side, allowing Fate to run the map how they want to in their default. Taking a bit of initiative into the late round was Krad to really give them that best opportunity, put the bomb in an awkward spot. And now, well, Fate need to find a means of bouncing back. Of course, their economy is in a decent enough spot where they can buy for this round and the round to follow. But it's all about whether this is a turning point or just a blip on the radar for that Hard Legion side. Nick, the first kill in towards Ivy, and that smoke allows them to get backlanes control.
Yeah, backlanes is completely lost to the CTs now. Forrester inside of Heaven does give up his position. Molotov goes in, and I don't think he's going to spread his direction, which is good. He's going to look for ships, and I think, he just spots his head, but the second he does, he moves off. Fortunate for him, the timing not working in his favour for once. Looking to add more frags to his list so far, with Krad picking up the bomb once again. Being able to drop that down. Does smoke it off, though. Needs to be incredibly careful about how he plays this one. Forrester is going to get tapped slightly. Now down to 19 HP. Nicky needs to be careful about what sort of angle he plays here. If he wants to get aggressive up into Heaven, he needs to do it now. Yeah, forces Forrester off the angle, sprays him down. But Krad, an easy trade. With the bomb still down. And AWP versus AWP. Let's see if Krad can come out on top here. Hasn't spotted the gun barrel as of yet. They both missed their first shots. That's interesting to see from both of these two quite talented AWPers. Hearn now going to be rushing onto the site. He knew he didn't have too much time. So Krad, quick and easy. No scope from him to be able to secure a 5th for Hard Legion.
That's a very awkward sight to see. So many sort of 1vx's or 2v2s that we've had to witness thus far in this game. And it goes to show just the individual prowess that's at play on both sides. Just the fact that it doesn't always have to come down to these double peaks. It can be these isolated duels that they seem to put so much importance on both sides of the coin that allows us into the late round. I'm surprised we're ending up in so many clutches, but I'm happy for it. It keeps the tension high.
Brad, quite aggressive. Finally, it pays off in this angle. He's been pushing it round after round, trying to calculate any form of utility that's chucked his way, and he's indeed able to do so. I think it's quite up close and personal, but isn't able to find the frag, even though he had that initial first peak advantage. Now we see Fate completely collapse on the A site. Ship picks up one on Forrester that realistically he had no right in gaining. Krad has found one frag on the B site. Now has to swap his aim towards A. The spam through the smoke not going to connect. Rage completely blinded, takes down ships. This is looking winnable for Hard Legion now, but they need to play together. They need to make sure this is a 2 versus 2, not 2 versus individual 1v1s. Blocker getting spammed down through the smoke. Needs to be careful how he plays the rest of this. Crad, oh, he is able to find one, but does he have time to be able to hold this defuse? I don't think so. Hearn going to be holding the angle with Yorf, and it looks like Crad might have just cut his losses here. Save himself the AK, and oh, he doesn't even get that. Hearn so confident to repeat that. And picked up a 7th for Fate.
Yep, he checked the bomb as the tap came through, and he played it. And played him like a fiddle. Some great individual performances thus far from Rage and Crad, the men we expect to be showing up for the Hard Legion side, but Fate are just getting these entries on the site and getting so much ground before Hard Legion can really do anything. Most of the players that survive on these takes trapped behind smokes, and the Fate players are ready for any of these ambitious pushes, but over towards A they go. Nicky's found 3 kills in rapid succession. Blocker getting a lot of ground as well. This should just be an easy enough Fate round. A bit interesting. The Deagle could have done some damage, but once this bomb gets dialed in, the round is almost certainly lost.
Yeah, bomb goes down. Forrestar and Crad, the last 2 guys remaining. I don't think they even find a single frag here, right? Yeah, Crad's getting spammed down. And Forrestar, well, does just have to run for the hills. Has a Zeus available. Is he going to be able to find it this round? Oh, every time an opportunity presents itself, he just swaps back out to the USPS. And I want to say that is the right play, right? But he's trying and trying for this Zeus kill. He just needs to fully commit in 1 round. That's all he needs to do. Fully commit, hold with the Zeus, and get that frag.
I mean, it's not super expensive, and I mean, really, he has to just be yelling, guys, I want to Zeus, please stop dying on A, because...
So your Forrestar impression.
No, that's just what I would say. Like, I really want to get this kill, so please just stop dying on A.
Let me get the frags, please.
Well, they are anti-ecoing in the place that has the most room to work with, so it makes a lot of sense. And now they get the rifles back in. They get the picks they're looking for. Rage, Sviet, they both go for picks in towards T-Main and Ivy, and they reap the rewards.
Yeah, a lot of aggressive utility shuts out from the CT side there. They're able to take complete A main control within a matter of seconds of the round started. Rage, of course, wanted to get himself on the board, so picks up a frag of his own. Still a decent opportunity for Fate, however. Very, very surprised we didn't see Sviat continue pushing all the way through A main. If he did, he would have been able to spot the bomb. Sviat's going to be able to trade one back to Nicky. No triple frags for you in this round. Only finds 1. Blocker and Hahn now, the last 2 guys remaining. It's looking more and more likely this is going to go to the way of Hard Legion. Hahn, if he can find a frag here, then maybe... just maybe, there's a chance. Well, I'd say that chance is now completely disappeared with Blocker dying. Hahn, you haven't got too much money to play with. Actually, I'll say that. He's still got 3.2k, so he could mess around with this if he wants to. But with the rest of his team not looking great, I feel like he tries to go for an exit frag and then just say, with only 20 seconds on the clock and the bomb in hand, maybe he can try for the B site, but he needs to be quick.
Yeah, not even a chance anymore, really. Surely not. By the time he gets down the ramp,
now he needs to get the bomb out.
He's not got time. You might.
He's got time.
Oh my goodness, he's actually. Yeah, this is very, very doable. 1 versus 3, open hand. He's heard where one of these players is coming from behind as well. They're closely approaching, but Kinky puts it to bed, puts it to rest. I don't personally believe he should have gone for it. I thought he was thinking about Patrick. You know, Patrick's sitting pretty far down in terms of money, but a nice cash injection with the bomb down at the very least, and he can always rebuy the ult for himself.
If you can try it, why not?
Yeah.
Go for it. That timing was perfect, though. If he doesn't get that frag on, I believe it was Crad, right, who was pushing up Pop Dog. Yeah, if he doesn't get that, that does not go well at all.
And let's not mistake anything here. 8 rounds on the T side of Train, that's already really good for Fate. So every other round that they can get after the fact is gravy. It's all icing on the cake.
How do you go from gravy to icing?
I mean, okay, I mean, they're 2 different things, but you know, they're a topping. It's the last thing you do.
Tell me you don't put gravy on your plate first? What is wrong with you? You're not British?
I put gravy and icing on the same
Oh
boat.
god.
Yeah, what now? Wish you never asked.
Yeah, touche. Right, remind me never to come around for dinner. Nevertheless, quite deep into this round so far. Only a minute and 15 remaining. Commitment from either side as of yet. Viat does put out 2. A spray starts, and well, he connects on 2 as well. Nikki and Ships both taken down. Getting a bit of trade damage, but the USPS from Sviat that's going to be able to do just even more to Patrick. So 2 versus 2 now with that no scope from Crad. But Harm with the long angle, he's looking to shut him down out of Popto. Smoke goes down. He's going to fire a wild bullet in a couple of moments, we would assume, but isn't going to be able to connect. Yeah, there it was. Damage dealt to these 2 remaining Fate players. An opportunity for Forestar to be able to one-tap both of them with this M4. A little bit of utility from both sides, but nothing particularly amazing. There's one headshot. Is he going to be able to find the second? No. Misses that first shot, but Hearn also misses his. Going to be dropped down to 19 HP. We've seen him almost clutch out rounds like this before. And he has clutched out rounds like this before. Now only 20 seconds remaining. Bomb in hand. He needs to be careful how he plays this. But Crad, yep, ready and waiting. Picks him off the ladder. 8-7 now, Hard Legion. They did a good job to be able to come back just a little bit. Still going to be a tall order for them as they swap over to the T side.
Yeah, and what I would put as a, not really a must-win, but a nice little end to the half. Able to recover enough so that it's at least competitive. But the T side from Fate, I mean, just that spree of rounds that they had 6 in a row after losing the pistol in the subsequent rounds is a really, really good effort. And the fact that they're getting good spread of kills across the board for their team is a good indicator that everybody is contributing, whereas it's a little bit more topside heavy on the Hard Legion side. Still, everything can be the exact same way around for Fate as we swap over to the CT side for them. Same for Hard Legion. If they get the pistol as well, it puts a lot more pressure on Fate to scramble together their economy on that CT side.
You mentioned about how top heavy the Hard Legion scoreboard is right now, and I'm not liking it. This is the exact same position that we were in on Inferno when we were up against Crazy. It was Crad and Rage, apart from there were swap positions. It was Rage top fragging. But it's the 2 AWPers again, right? The fact that they are the people finding these frags. It's not on the riflers. Yeah, it's kind of a testament to the map that is trained, but we need to be seeing some of these riflers step up to the plate. You can't just rely on these one-shot weapons in the form of the AWP.
Yeah, and of course we have our odds by our lovely partners over at LootBet. They have changed pretty dramatically. It was more one side heavy towards Fate, but now the scoreline's a little bit closer, getting a little bit nervous. They've given Hard Legion a bit more respect, and I think rightfully so. It is a close matchup. The map pools, we were talking about how similar they are, and well, in the performance on the server, it's exactly mirrored that. But into the pistol, Patrick pushing alongside his teammate towards Ivy, and missed shots from the CT side. Sviat capitalizing, and while he won't find the second as of yet, Chips is still trying his hand at it. He's really tempting Fate. That could really cascade out of Fate's control.
Unnecessarily aggressive, I'd say, down Ivy. I feel like they're trying to get an early start in the round. It hasn't worked, yet they've still solidified themselves there, and B site is basically completely clear. Oh, never mind. Han is going to be there to be able to pick up the pieces. One tap on Forrester. Looking for another one onto Sviat. Knows he's there. No one going to be lurking behind him, though. So does find a second. But now the re-rotate. There's loads of time on the clock. A minute left, and A's now completely been gained due to this rotate. Kinky looking for one more frag here. He isn't going to be able to find it as of yet. That's going to come in the form of Rage instead. Chips gets taken down. Now the 3 versus 3. Well, wait, 3 versus 2. As we see another frag come on through from Crad. Han and Nikki, they need to play this together if they want any opportunity. Han pushes directly out of connector and doesn't get tagged down by Kinky here. Oh, this is so close. It could go either way. With Kinky picking up that frag, though, I think it's going to go to the way of the T side. There's only a few bullets in the clip for Nikki. Only 7 until he needs to reload. And he needs to make sure all 7 of these count. Rotates all the way around. He is the one player with a defuse kit, of course. Does spot out Rage. If he's able to gain complete connector control here, maybe he can win this round. Taps it, holds it. Oh, he taps it a few times. Looks for Kinky, but now just going to hold it. Come on, man. Stop looking away. You haven't got enough time for this. Does he have enough time to be able to get the bomb defuse, though? That is the real question. He's done this so fine. Oh, my Lord. Nikki. Milliseconds in it. What a pistol round for Fate.
I was just about ready to count him out. He taps the bomb 3 times just before he baits this player out. And the patience from Kinky. He knows the initiative's on him because he doesn't know if there's a kit on this last player. But it comes down to the last milliseconds. Smallest of moments. And that's the difference maker.
Kinky played that completely correct, by the way. That was exactly how we needed to play it, as you mentioned. He
given the plant position,
played
right?
the time, exactly. There's no question that he played that well. It just an outstanding performance there. Nevertheless, Blocker is going to get taken down quite early on into this. Patch it down to 2 HP already. Round not going the way that Fate wanted it to, especially considering how they started that one. Crad now going to be able to upgrade himself from that team all the way up to a FAMAS. A trade there for Nikki onto Kinky. Is there anything else in this round for Hard Legion? That is the real question right now. As Crad finally drops down to 6 HP, another weapon's been recovered. But with a combined health total of 17 right now for these 2 remaining Fate players, what has gone wrong here?
Yeah, the pistols. You can never count them out in a round. And the fact they've got their hands on rifles as well, that HP, like you were mentioning, just makes all the difference. After a well-rounded effort from Nikki in the pistol, it's knocked down a peg. Hard Legion just rushed them down on that A site and get that round that eluded them prior.
Yeah, an 8th round for Hard Legion does put them within 1, and with the economy of Fate, or should I say lack of economy of Fate, it's more than likely that we are going to be seeing a level
Harn died
game
to the bomb.
between these 2 teams. Who died?
Harn died to the bomb.
Fantastic. Good job. Good on you, Harn. That's exactly what I want to be saying. You don't need to save anything for the next round. Just here you go. Take a scout. That is that's the worst thing that could have happened there.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. It's not like Hard Legion were chasing either, so yeah. I think he was 4 HP, 5 HP, so
yeah, he was low.
Somewhat excusable. You know, you don't sometimes feel that, but when it's all you've got left. Either way, they'll force right back into this, trying to fight for that sort of battle of attrition that we often see at the start of games like this when that second round doesn't work out the way you think it will. While Hard Legion are loving life, the AKs are out, the Molotovs, utility out in spades.
Oh, you name it, yeah.
I just want to make sure that Fate don't get up to anything tricksy. We didn't see too many aggressive pushes from Hard Legion CT side. I doubt we'll get to see too much of that from Fate either. It's just kind of like one round darted every so often just to keep them guessing.
Well, it's taken a while, but they are now going to be getting aggressive on the B site. Minimal defense up close and personal right now. Blocker's going to be the only one. And Forrester has to check the angle. This could be absolutely brutal. Blocker does pick up 1. He does get traded back from Sviat, though. Now there's a man advantage for Fate. Nikki has a rifle. Patrick on the rotate with the Deagle. If he's able to find a frag here and recover a weapon, this round goes to the way of Fate. No questions asked, but they need to be careful about how they play the rest of this out. Nikki is going to get tapped down. The spray from Krad's not going to fully connect. Oh, wow. Okay, Hearn. Forrester. D down by ships as well, and that is all she wrote. A 10th round for Fate. Another round which realistically they shouldn't have won. They do get it on the board.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know what? My anti-eco round, or my eco round is better. No, my eco round is better. It's just back and forth. And while Harn makes up for the fact he died to the bomb in that previous round, he makes sure that that bomb doesn't go off again. Double digits secured by Fate. It's still going to be this battle for who has a little bit more room to breathe. Rage investing in the AWP, a full commitment from that T side in response.
Yeah, the vice is gripping around both teams right now.
Yeah.
There is no real opportunity for them to be able to breathe easy here, especially if Rage can hit that flick. He does just miss, which is uncharacteristic from him, but oh, he's got back up. Look at that. Forrester and Sviat, they save him as he gets absolutely lurched on. Still hiding inside of Olaf. He's now going to fall back more towards A main. Did they rethink this push? But with Nikki and Ships falling quite early on into this round, don't really rate the chances of Fate, especially with Forrester picking up another one there as well. I wouldn't be particularly surprised if we see potentially another Fate towards B and then rotating back down towards Pop Dog, or maybe just the full commitment onto the B site here.
Oh, Blocker here has a lot of presence towards that B bomb site. Forrester the first to fall. That does get the lineup on the spray. It could have been deadly, but Hard Legion able to knock that one down a peg. Oh, so close for that being a round for the blue.
One bullet. That's literally all he needed for Kinky there. He's down to 8 HP. And just was a tail end of that spray control.
Yeah.
Just teetered off, but let's see. Yeah, we are going to re-see it again. You'll see what I mean just towards the tail end of this. It just swings a bit wide, sprays down another one, but so unfortunate. He couldn't decide what player to shoot against. So many options present themselves to him, but nevertheless, he's going to be the 9th round for Hard Legion. Back and forth this entire game right now. A great angle here from Han. He holds inside a sandwich and he's looking to punish Crad, and it's the Zeus that does it. Forrester, he's got some explaining to do. He's given the Fate guys some...
Blocker, how does he get 2 with the USP?
I don't even know. I do not even know. He's been able to upgrade himself there as well. It looks like, yeah, picks up an AK, but Kinky is still on the back lines trying to find something here. Rage, what can you find? You got an AWP in hand. You got to buy for the next round. Same can't be said for the rest of your squad. Prepare to be one-tapped by Han. Oh, no, a little bit of spray instead, but it's hop close and personal with the CZ75 for Blocker. That pocket AK. Tried and true weapon coming out for the CTs there. 11th round for Fate as they look like they're running away with this. I'm starting to look like our predictions are wrong.
Thank goodness one of them has called a timeout just to breathe.
So many rounds.
What is going on? Back and forth, the swing, the pendulum shifts back and forth. I don't know which way any round's going to go. The better buys.
Cradle of a game.
And the worst part is, it comes down to close rounds. 2v2 or 2vx's, 3vx's. Neither team able to get any sort of stability in their economy means that the buys just get worse and worse and worse. And it's although loss bonuses can't be built up because it just keeps going back and forth. Slow down. Take a second. Fate, better weaponry, better utility. Hard Legion, of course, they're gonna buy into it. Why not? It's just about whether Fate can capitalize on the better weaponry. I'm still holding my doubts. I'm not sure if that's a possibility at this point, given how this half has gone so far.
Yeah, we thought it would kind of swing the completely other way, right? Hard Legion have a not great CT side, and hopefully they explode on the T, but they've been consistent. But the consistency has been back and forth instead of winning round after round. Forrester is able to pick up that first frag on Blocker. That's fracking that can be recovered. But look at this, rotate all the way round. I don't think anyone's spotted it out yet. No, Shipsy's going to have to spray down one in the form of Crad. Rage is now going to be holding quite a close angle, and the spray on the Forrester as well. There's no opportunity to do damage. Rage up close to person, spraying through the smoke. Looks for a fourth, isn't able to find it. He's going to have to die with 3 to his name. Now a 3 versus 2, right? Then a 3 versus 1, 3 versus 0. It happens so quick that everything I say is wrong. A 12th round for Fate. As we kind of expected, but Hard Legion definitely gave them a run for their money in that one.
Yeah, expectations are hard to manage when our expectations have been wrong for most of this half. Still, I think that's finally broken it. It's broken the vicious cycle that we've been finding ourselves perpetually in. It's onto an eco for Hard Legion. They get the bomb planted. That's a nice cash injection, but now they have to just ride that loss bonus into a following gun round. One that I don't think will allow Rage to invest in the AWP too safely. Oh, let's see if... Sorry.
No, that's right. This is what Hard Legion want you to think here. They want you to think that, this is over, it's only pistols, but we know that they can come out on top here. They've been able to deal minimal, well, quite a bit of damage actually to Blocker, Nicky, and Ships. No frag gained as of yet, but there was opportunities quite early on into that one, but it looks like they've definitely teetered off, especially with Forrester being dropping down to 25 HP. I wanted to give Hard Legion the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they can pull it back on these pistol rounds, but Fate read it incredibly well. They got a 3-man stack basically to push all towards Electric and just pick up the frags when required. Nicky and Svia, they are in a well, they're at a standoff with only the train separating both of them right now. If someone could just remove the brakes, roll it just a little bit, that would help one of them out right now, but it's not looking particularly likely.
And either of them moving an
They're,
inch.
they're literally just holding. It's like, this wall's nicer. I prefer this wall. No, my train's better than yours. It's like, no, I'll have you know, my train is better than yours. It's like, no, how dare you? This one is slightly better. Forrester is going to get taken down by Hearn. Blocker finally falls. And Nicky picks up Sviat. He comes out on top and proves that his train was indeed the better one.
Yeah, he had the stronger patience. We found out which of the two cats was more curious, and it happened to be Sviat. Oh, of course, our betting partners over at LootBet have they've shifted things, and
That's
well, with Fate having the lead, I maybe that's not accurate, maybe that's not live. Who knows? Because that's interesting to see. It's oh so close, and I don't think
it out
it's
for yourself.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting, but yeah, check that out for yourself over on LootBet if you want to. Nicky, nice double spray there onto Kinky and Rage. But now we need to see aggression from Hard Legion. They're playing way too placid. They haven't pushed through on any of these angles as of yet, especially with these rifles. They need to get in the face of Face, and it just hasn't happened. Forrester and Crad, nowhere to be seen in any of these fights right now. Minimal damage to Crad, but I feel like that was just tertiary damage from another engagement. Hot Flash goes on out. It's not going to connect really onto anyone. All he does is gives up his position even more. Forrester picks up one in the form of Nicky. Maybe an opportunity available for them on the A site, but with shit spraying down Crad, I feel like that's the final nail in the coffin for this round and potentially the game as well. As Fate start running away with this with a 5-round advantage. It's 14-9. And their economy is just growing.
Yeah, after such a scrappy start to this half, they made that one look so much easier. Aggressive play from Nicky. We saw Hard Legion do that a couple of times. Fiat, I think, was the man to do it for them. But he never got those same kind of results. Individual peaks being taken by Hard Legion. One of the downfalls that really struck them on our game earlier on in today when they played on Inferno. And well, yeah, this map may just be over before we know it. The half investment by that Hard Legion camp, they're grouping up towards B. Harn holding the angle with the AWP. He's ready for a bit of aggression, and while he spots them out, he's able to get out scot-free. The utility will allow him to fall off if he so pleases, but he's still fancying his chances.
Yeah, he's not going down without a fight at all. Waiting for that peek from Forrester. He's peeked that angle so many times, and I don't think it's ever really worked. Ships is holding at the bottom of Hot Dog, fully ready and waiting this flash to come down. And oh, you can't be running into them like that, buddy. That is a ladder. Try firing an AK on one of those. Not going to go down particularly well. Now 4 versus 4. Utility going to go down, but it might be too little too late. Actually, no, it's not. It looks like Sviat just going to hold in it. A great 1D there from Rage, but no opportunity for him to pick up any other weapon. Now just Forrester, most likely going to get spammed down here. Does have himself an AK. Recovered the bomb as well, and Blocker might be able to pick him up on the cross. Forrester with no armor, the spam comes through, he's dodging the bullets, doing a bit of a Neo right now, trying to stop them as before they even get started, but a single bullet is all that's going to be required towards the tail end of the day. 15-9 now. Fate looking to close this one out. Ooh, crisp and clean. That's what you like to see.
I was really prepared for him to just have an incredible round. You know, this game has kind of delivered in the unexpected, and while that wasn't the best of buys, that was a very nice clean shot to start things off. But yeah, Fate have gotten a firm grip of the CT side economy. They've secured overtime. I think it's fair to say most people are looking towards map number 2, but Hard Legion, can they recover? Rage back on the AWP, the rifles out in spades once again for this Hard Legion side, and they've set up in the default. They don't want to fall victim to many more of the antics that Fate have implemented in some of these rounds. No push from Nicky, no flash or play towards the B-bomb site. Try not to get picked out by Harn's AWP. And while they investigate the map, try and catch Fate off guard, maybe plan to play, they may have actually fallen into a trap of their own. Crad investigating B by himself does take down blockers. There's no trade potential from the CT side. Caught in a situation where it was an isolated duel, but this play from Fate, that could change things. The flash was good.
Patrick, ooh, top so low, and wow, he still comes out on top. Okay. Ferrari peak from Patrick there to be able to take down Kinky. And now they're going to begin pushing on Ivy, and oh, this could be absolutely devastating for Hard Legion. No one's holding behind. If Fate can get this timing, Patrick with his 22 HP and the AK recovered could do absolute wonders. They have no idea, Yumi. They're not even going to check this. Rage isn't even going to think about rotating all the way around here. There's two players pushing this angle. It's Nikki and Patrick. They spot out Rage. They're looking for more. They know where more of them are. They've sprayed out two. Patrick's got 3 kills. He's looking for a 4th as well to close out this game. Forrestar potentially hoping to clutch this one out. But no, a single tap from Nikki finishes off the game. 16-9 to Fate as they do take their opponent's map pick of Train. Now we move on to theirs of Inferno.
Yeah, this is the problem when everything is so tightly knit in your 2 map pools. They pick a strong map for them, but you're sitting back thinking we were almost going to pick that map ourselves. Yeah. A great showing from them, although things got really, really scrappy at the start of that second half. Towards the end, I mean, you saw Hard Legion just kind of looking for an answer, and they couldn't find it in time. Just setting up in a default, like in that last round, the fact they wait so long for Fate to do something aggressive, only for them to do it, that aggressive thing so much later on into the round where they're least expecting it, that just goes to show you that Fate were kind of 2 steps ahead.
Well, the fact that Patrick just Ferrari peaked out of Ivy, took down a single player after being dropped down to 22 by that Molotov. I haven't written it down here. I was about to say Patrick didn't really step up in that game. Glad I didn't say that, because he went absolutely ballistic in that last round. Being able to pick up another 3K there really just solidified the fact that Fate, they're here to stay, and they aren't to be messed around with at all. Let's have a look. Kind of the 2, I believe it's 2 top fragging players, right, Yumi?
Yep, I believe so. Yeah, Crad, Nikki. I mean, we saw so many multi-kills from Nikki, so unsurprisingly he finishes off there. But we have to kind of caveat everything, right? I mean, you take a map off us, we take a map off you. That's definitely a possibility. We have Inferno as our second map, still a map that Hard Legion are familiar with. They're relatively comfortable on as well. But we have that coming up after the break. We'll see if they can remain consistent, or will Hard Legion answer back and force a map 3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We had our first map played here in the lower bracket of Group B. Of course, if you're wondering where we are, what we're doing, it's of course the Malta Vibes, brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. Of course, my name is Yumi. I'm joined by Cody, as I have been the entire day and will continue to be joined by. And we've had I don't know. It's not exactly the close state of affairs I was expecting on a map
No.
where both teams are fairly comfortable. But that sort of back and forth we had was quite interesting to watch, to say the least.
Yeah, it was interesting is the right word. It was fun to watch. There's no question about that. But we both came into this kind of expecting a lot more from Hard Legion.
Yeah.
It does just kind of seem that the only reason Hard Legion are in some of these rounds, and the fact they only got 9, and not to put a dampener or anything, but it's the AWPers that are really coming out on top. Like we see Crad picking up like multiple frags, we see Rage doing it as well, but all the riflers and like the entry players just don't seem to be finding too much as of yet. So Hard Legion really needs to change that up as we move into Inferno, and hopefully we'll see a different side for them, because this should be significantly closer than it is right now.
Yeah, and we were just talking off screen, the fact that Nicky had a really standout game, right?
Yep.
He seemed to be topping the charts in pretty much everything. I think you were sort of mentioning, like, he's done pretty much everything for the team outside of AWPing. So, you know, maybe he guns for that position. Maybe it's like, Harn, step aside. Just not, you know, let me get every single one of those statistics in my favor. Maybe...
I need my HL TV stats to go up. Yeah. Come on, man. Be a team player.
There's obviously some sort of unsung heroes on that Fate side as well to have such a good train. The fact that Blocker had so many sort of surprising multi-kills, Ships had a consistent performance, Patrick with the flank at the end, all good signs for Fate. On the Hard Legion side, though, there's at least this small sliver of hope. They've played Inferno today. They can iron out some of those creases. I've used this term in a few of the broadcasts already. The fact that they've played it at the start of the day, now their tournament life in this week of play now resides on this map. Do they suddenly have a new spring to their step? Are they concerned at all? Do they think they can force that map 3 because of that map advantage that they have of play?
Well, this is what we mentioned, right, on the in the pregame, that Hard Legion, my apologies. Hard Legion only really lost that game against Crazy because they got complacent. They were in the driving seat for that Inferno game for a strong majority. If 9 times out of 10 when they play that game, I feel like they win. But they got just a little bit too overconfident. They weren't treating Crazy with the respect that they deserved. And Crazy punished them for it, rightfully so as well. So now we're back on this map. Hopefully Hard Legion have kind of composed themselves a little bit and are like, okay, we can't be giving up stupid rounds like we have in the past. We need to make sure that we are actually playing with respect against the opponent. But of course, not too much respect. You do need to go in and actually decimate the opponent from time to time, but they need to make sure that they aren't just throwing away rounds because a single player wants to try and go frags.
Yeah, of course, our partners over at LootBet, they are now siding with Fate. I think they started out the last map with that same prediction. They ended up being right. I was sort of questioning them for it, but you know, they're smarter people than I am over there. But I think that is at least fair. Fate carrying the momentum over that last map. It's really on Hard Legion to make adaptations in their play, and we'll see if it comes into favor on their CT side.
Well, Nicky's looking to start us off incredibly fast. Of course, we mentioned top fragger and basically the overall standout performer from Fate in that previous game, and he's the first face that any of the Hard Legion squad are going to see. He's going to rush up close and personal, but Forrestar puts a nail in his head straight away, takes him out of the round. Blocker picks up one of his own as well. Looks like this round could indeed go to the way of Hard Legion if they can retake this. They've got a pretty decent retake setup right now, but a lot of damage is going to be traded back down range. Kinky going to be dropped down relatively low. Crab picks up one of his own. Is there anything else in this round for Fate, though? As it looks like they are indeed able to trade a couple of frags back. In a 3 versus 1, Sviat really needs to pick up the piece of this round. He does have a defuse kit, but I'm thinking he wants to save that.
Yeah, not a lot of space on the bomb site, and while Patrick will track him down, Chips will, I think, get away with that 1 HP. Yeah, he manages to carry that over to the following round. 3 up for Fate, and yeah, that pistol goes their way. I thought for a second there might have been a chance for Fate to come back into that, or rather Hard Legion to get back into that, because Rage went unchecked in the apartments for so long, but I think it was Blocker who ended up clearing out that angle, so no real issues, no surprises in that pistol. Of course, the second round buy comes through. Rage on the Scout. We had seen Crad wield that in a few of the rounds, but instead they take different approaches. They swap.
Actually interested to see what Rage can do with this, because he's picked it up a couple of times but hasn't been particularly successful with that weapon. It has been, as you correctly mentioned, Crad who's been picking up those frags. Was the top fragger for Hard Legion in that previous map, and it's going to be Kinky, who might be the first face that any of these Fate players see. Sviat's there as well to potentially help out. Kinky takes down one. Patrick with a frag of his own. Rage one more. AKs, Scouts and MAC-10s all picking up frags as they can. 3v3 now. Only the Scout, the primary weapon in this round. Really looking for more information here. A couple of weapons can be recovered off the back of that push down towards Archers.
The fact they cheated this rotation back towards B, Hard Legion have read that rotation from Fate. They thought that it was going to be an easy sailings getting into this bomb site, but the smoke now, they will really struggle to get past that. And while they can still hear steps from Fate, they actually run boost over Forrester. Oh, he'll try his hand moving through the smoke. Crad draws the attention, and if the smoke fades, the bomb dropped. He's caught in no man's land. They work and use the numbers advantage on that Fate side to get that 2v1, get themselves in a position where they can plant this bomb. But can they read into where Rage is coming from?
He needs to be quiet if he wants to have any chance of sneaking behind these guys. Opting for the Deagle instead right now. Trying to find just someone on one of these close angles. Bomb is down. No defuse kit available. So even though he doesn't have any armor, he's just going to be saving this Deagle and a Scout. And that is quite smart, to be honest with you. But he can indeed drop down that Deagle with one of his other teammates, keep the Scout for himself. It potentially buys up 2 players in the next round. Of course, he is still going to have to buy armor around that. But it's going to be a second round for Fate as their re-rotates seem to be working pretty well so far. They're working well on Train, same to be said on Inferno now as well. A second relatively convincing round for them. We're moving to round number 3, which statistically should be a 4-buy round for Hard Legion, but they've been committing quite hard into this.
Yeah, although it ends up a more expensive round than Fate would like, the fact that they'll get a bit of solace knowing that it's just going to be pistols, unarmored opponents as the likely opposition in this round certainly goes a long way. You expect Nikki to be the one that probes and scouts these bomb sites, leading the way with that MAC-10. Hopefully he can farm some cash on that SMG as well. We'll have to wait and see. Hard Legion. The fact that they're keeping the economy at least modest on this T side in these rounds, even with them losing it, is a benefit to them. But they hope to transfer that damage further, but they're not going to be given the chance. Patrick with 2, Harn with 1, and, well, the B-bomb site firmly in their control.
This is why I don't like it when players press E to pick up weapons instead of just running over them. Sviat was completely blindsided because he was looking at the ground there. Rage is now, once again, you're really the last guy surviving. Hasn't found a frag in this round as of yet. Only 1 frag to his name so far, and snuck up on by ships right down his scope. 3rd round for Fate there, and, well, we are seeing why Fate picked up this map. This is convincing, but it's only 3 rounds. We saw a very similar story for Hard Legion previously as well, where they picked up 3 rounds and then Fate came back, maybe with the full buy from Hard Legion. We're going to be seeing the tables turn. Ships, leave that damn chicken alone. I'm so glad you missed every single one of those PC-50 bullets. Please. As a matter of fact, I really hope they lose this round now. There is no way that he misses that many shots on a chicken. Are you kidding me?
You are vindictive, but we'll see if you will be vindicated in this round in particular. Will that chicken be an omen for what's to come? Fate. A lot of nade damage initially found onto one of their players. In fact, a 1-2 punch as Crad finishes off that frag. Well, now it all quiets down. The initial presence towards B unsuccessful. That smoke towards the middle of the site will make things a little bit more difficult for Sviat to support, but Fate can't move still. There's still a smoke towards that top side of B that slows things down.
Fate is still undecided right now, though, right? The bomb is still dropped at the bottom of Banana, so they could indeed rotate all the way around towards A if they do so wish. Apartment control is completely in the hand of Fate right now as well, and it looks like, yeah, bomb's going to be recovered, and it is indeed going to rotate more towards the A site. Only Patrick's going to be holding here, and they've still got a 3-man commitment on the B site. They can find an opening pick towards A. It's going to be absolutely brutal. Sviat is going to be able to push on through and help out a teammate. Crad finds the frag, though, instead. Rage, is he going to be able to find anything on this rotate? They know they're inside a mid right now. Bomb's going to be dropped. They're going to re-rotate back towards B, but Crad, great angle, holding behind all of the barrels. Oh, he hasn't been checked. No one has any idea. Finds one, misses the shot. How do you whiff that, man? Sviat's now got to sneakily hide behind. He's been spotted out. Still holding behind second orange. Waiting for her to peek into his crossfire, but even though his position's been given up, he still finds 2 frags. Hard Legion get themselves back on the board, but that should have been significantly cleaner.
Yeah, that could have been a lot of trouble going Hard Legion's way. Sviat almost gets caught transitioning to second oranges. Fortunately for Hard Legion, there's the cover on the cross. Small little tidbits to take away from that round. There was a small little run boost by accident on a double swing towards top Banana. The fact that that whiff happened to be on screen, that is certainly not ideal. But Hard Legion still get the round. They win their first gun round. That's important.
Nade stack takes down Patrick. Nice opener there, Hard Legion. Rage, how does he get away with his life there? Oh, and he actually gets the frag as well. Great flash to be able to connect, and does just throw Blocker completely off guard. Now puts us in a 5 versus 3. After opening frag on Patrick.
That's unbelievable. I mean, the fact that the flash banks off the wall, tags, and slows him in Boiler as well. That is... Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous.
The stars have aligned for Rage in that situation, surely. You can't hit too many more of those the rest of this game. Crad, well, he's always been aggressive down Banana, but usually with an AWP in hand. This time he swaps it out towards the AK. 3 frags to his name so far. So we see 3 remaining players from Fate barreling down towards the B bomb site. Smoke going to go down to stop their aggressive push. What are they going to be able to find? Not much right now with Crad. Well, instead of sleeping with the fishes, he's going to be hanging out with them right now as he gets that triple spray. 3 kills for him and a 4th. Close out the round, it looks like, as well. 3-2 now for Hard Legion. They bring themselves back into this game. Let's have a quick look at that frag from Rage. Once again, slows him, and Blocker just doesn't have the speed.
He can't chase after him. He can't pursue much further. A great set of kills here from Crad, though. Dancing around that fountain, using the cover effectively. Even when he was flashed up, nobody on the side of Fate went to clear him. And that's busted the money from that T-side Forester. Okay, aggressive from the apartments. He sprayed 2 down, the 3rd as well. He's looking for more. And while Rage chimes in for the last kill, it's an easy proceeding for Hard Legion. They get that anti-eco out of the way.
Yeah, quick and easy for Hard Legion as they now indeed bring it level. Almost a consistent that we've been seeing both the maps that we've seen so far on Train and Inferno in the past. First team goes 3 rounds up, and then after fully buying, they bring it back level. Usually as well, we see that team that was behind go on a pretty decent advantage as well. Fate on Train were able to take 6 rounds back to back. Let's see what Forrester can do here. Sprays down 1, looks like second, but spray control just isn't there. Sviat and Kinky though, hello, pick up frags of their own. Rage as well, and now that does just leave Nicky, the top fragger of our previous map, but so far, 7 rounds in, only 2 frags to his name, 5 deaths, looking to make that 5 frags in this round. Yet to find anything so far. What's he going to be able to find on the B site? Has the bomb available. Crad isn't going to be holding the close angle, instead he's going to be holding by Churches, expecting someone to push all the way through towards CT. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Minute left on the clock now. Nicky needs to make a push on towards the B site.
Still so much time to clear out angles as well. He has to try and find an isolated duel, but I don't think he's going to quite suspect Crad in the angle. A sneaky one to be positioned into by Crad, but a very successful Hard Legion round. This is the Hard Legion we didn't get to see at the start of the day. Going for ambitious plays like this, that spray transfer from Forster sure doesn't connect, but he's got the apartments pressure, he's got a teammate behind him. They take the fight right to Fate before they can even set up in the round.
Maybe that's Fate's kryptonite. Get those sprint boosts out that we've seen them try before inside of mid. Get that momentum to just take complete team mid control. Second mid, should I say.
Yeah, and by and large, the only people that were getting aggressive on the Hard Legion side were players like Rage. We expected to see him kind of open up these rounds with the AWP. But, I mean, if the other team, or if the other players on his team are able to create that space without him having to be the sole man to do it, then that's a really good sign, a good change of pace from map to map, especially after how things went to start off the day. And while Fate may have had a bit of a peer into how Inferno may have played out, it's a very different Hard Legion.
Second they get those rifles in hand, they're already able to perform. And we were mentioning earlier about the fact that the riflers for Hard Legion didn't really turn up on Inferno. Yeah, they got some frags, but wasn't anything consistent. So it can't be said right now. It's still early days, of course, but they've been able to do a lot of damage to these Fate players. Rage going to be holding a much more passive angle on A instead of going for that opening pick inside of mid. Potentially some respect towards Hearn. Looking for that opening pick towards Boiler, though. He knows that someone's going to be peeking it. Well, he's seen the smoke come on through, but runs away. Changes his angle up. Smoke going to go down. Be potentially able to find something here, but no, it looks like it's Rage. All on him to be able to close out the round. He picks up one, but starts the domino effect with the rest of the Fate players falling around him.
Yep, quick little flick there from Rage, and while Sviat does the rest, he sweeps the other players up as they emerge onto that side. Of course, it was just pistols from the Fate side, but it seems like that theme may continue. We had Train, where Fate were behind, then answered with 6 rounds in a row. Hard Legion are very close to doing the exact same thing, fighting off against another full buy from this T side, though. I don't think they'll get caught out by any sort of aggressive stance from the CT side. In fact, Fate are getting aggressive over towards Banana. Harn has found one. Sviat able to trade things out. He's still looking for more on 20 HP. That is brazen, my friend, but you've pulled it off. 3 kills for Sviat in the round, and Hard Legion can fall back.
Are you having a laugh? The confidence on this man to be able to peek an angle like that on 20 HP and still come out on top. Ships is able to find one in the form of Rage over towards the A site, which does open up an opportunity here with Nikki now beginning to rotate up through towards apartments. But what a start from Sviat, who still has his life as well. He could close out this round with an ace if he really wants to try it, but he's going to be located over towards the B site. Ships trying to get in the face of Crad right now. Doesn't know he's inside of archers, and, well, does now as he gets his head ripped clean off his shoulders. Nikki, only 2 frags right now on Inferno. Maybe a third. No, not going to be the case. Crad closes it out.
I'm rearing to go for the replay. I just want to see it again. I've told you, I need to scratch those itches for those fantastic spray downs. But what else is fantastic is, of course, our partners over at Hellcase. It's the biggest and most well-known case opening website with almost 100 cases, updated case battles, dozens of giveaways per month, and more absolutely unique features. You won't get bored with Hellcase, and you can use the promo codes to save some money and grab what you deserve.
Don't get bored with Hellcase, and you shouldn't be getting bored of this game as well, as it's just finally kicking off. We're seeing some fantastic performances here from Sviat. Looks like he's trying to get aggressive dampen on, and once more, Yumi, I'm not particularly surprised by it. He does find a pick, but instead of one coming at the hands of his AK, instead comes at the hands of the nade. They are going to begin pushing this angle down. It's anti-eco. What are they going to be able to do? Well, pick up a number of frags. Sviat, even though it's completely blind, still finds one more. And Harn doesn't get tagged down by that Molotov, but is still going to be the last guy remaining, and I don't really like his chances.
Well, a couple of players around the corner. Harn trying his hand, and well, he will not go down to the flames, instead to Kinky's rifle. They do one better. 7-3. We get our eyes back on this. Ah,
Gorgeous.
disgusting.
It's so clean, right?
Yep.
The spray control is perfect. It is, at the end of the day, a random spam, but
It's
works.
extremely unfortunate for Fate that they're on the receiving end of that, but it's just it sprays just get me. They make me happy.
What do we go with that one? 5 versus 5 as we kick off round at number 11. Han potentially looking for a pick inside of mid, but it's going to be Rage who picks up blocker out of the air. Ship's just looking at his friend's dead corpse and is like, oh, okay, that's where you were a couple of moments ago. Patrick picks up one. Rage. Oh, he's everywhere, this man. Finds a pick inside a boiler. Okay, I'm going to rotate round to my teammate's position. Still his frags. He doesn't need those. Don't worry about that. Let's see if he rotates over to B and does more damage. Because he does push through TT, but it's all Sviat. Look at that.
Oh, my.
Crisp, clean tap. Another 3K for him. What can stop him?
Where was this at the start of the day? This feels like a completely different Hard Legion. They're taking fights. They're not backing away from any sort of semblance of retaking map control. I mean, the flash, the spray, although it's initially not that good, just the recovery on the last kill. Sviat is pulling out triple kills like nobody's business. And, well, you can understand why Fate have taken a timeout. They were like, oh, they just had a 16-14 on this map. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer. We should be putting up a much better fight. But Hard Legion, they're just firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, Fate really need to get out of their own head, because it does seem like that's where they are right now. They're trying to overthink certain plays, and they just need to go back to the drawing board. Okay, how do we push off the back of this? We know that Rage likes to play inside of apps. If he doesn't find a pick there, then he's going to rotate round through mid. So maybe we smoke off apps. Maybe we don't allow him to find that opening pick. Okay, we're going to be playing at least one player over towards B. We don't want to go anywhere near Sviat, so let's stay away from there and force everything on towards the A site. Or we try and overwhelm Sviat, rush with Deagles, and see what we can do. It looks like it isn't going to be a 3-2 split.
So you've got this gross checklist of things. There's 5 players on the server. Krad's chiming in now. He's having a gander at where Sviat's had so much success. And, well, you know, he makes it look just as easy. Hard Legion are just on a tear at the moment. And whether or not it's against pistols or rifles, it's all kind of glossed into one.
It's the same story, isn't it? Like, we're seeing, even though this is a bit, like, it's a 4 versus 1. Well, no, sure. Now a 3 versus 1. It's a nice pick up there for Nick. No question about that. But it's the fact that even against rifles, they're able to do this. Okay, we found 4 picks within the first 30, 40 seconds of the round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of peculiar to see such a big disparity from game 1 to game 2, where it happens to be that it's sort of back and forth between the two teams at one point or another. Sure, they go on these sprees, but by and large, it still comes to close rounds. Now, Hard Legion, I mean, there's a few players capped out on money, so they're just buying things for the sake of buying them. And, well, Fate just need to find some sort of answer. They're going to try and get aggressive, push through the flashes and push through the smokes. But Krad, he's having a field day. See, it doesn't have to be Sviat. It doesn't have to be that man. Krad wants the action himself. And while Harn will be able to be getting that trade right back, brings it at least a little bit closer. But Hard Legion just have so much control.
A little bit closer, but not close enough.
Yeah.
Combined health total of 91 on these two players now with Fate. Han and Nikki then need to rotate over towards the A site, but Hard Legion have read this perfectly. They know for a fact, okay, yeah, just leave Rage over there. He's going to be able to clean up the round. And I can almost guarantee that not a single other player for Hard Legion is going to need to get involved in these frags. Rage has got this site completely locked down. He just needs to peek into apartments and he gets 2 frags. I don't think there's any real question there. He's now going to move directly over towards Haybale. Is he going to be able to jump on top? Is he going to be able to potentially get aggressive up in their face? No, a little bit more defensive, but still gets a kill onto Nikki, nevertheless. Han now, 46 HP. He could pistol him to death, but instead, if he peeks this corner, he is going to get orked. It's looking like an almost guaranteed 10th round, especially when they're not ready for Rage.
Yep, you were right. He didn't need the backup. He didn't need reinforcements. He had that A bomb site under lock and key. I just need to see Fate group themselves up for an execute. I understand banana control is being lost. You have to just concede it at this point. There's been far too many multi-kills from Hard Legion, either at the top of banana towards B, or just even fighting for that top barrels position. They can't even get that far in these past couple of rounds. So concede the control, group yourself up elsewhere, and try and capitalize on the fact that there's an AWP. Sure, Rage is having a field day himself, but that AWP can only fire so quickly.
Here we go. This is it. They are literally utilitying Rage all the way back towards CT spawn. They're playing around the single player, but Crad and Forrester are able to pick up 2 fantastic frags off the bat. Ships is using that enemy smoke to his advantage, but Hard, dear lord, man. Deeks down. 1, and now that opens up the B-bomb site completely. Patrick has the bomb available. That's 2 M4s covered as well, but Kinky is ready and waiting. He doesn't stop the spray. Patrick picks up 1, but it's only a trade as far as the there to pick up the pieces. An 11th round for Hard Legion, and this is 11 rounds in a row.
Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't need much more saying than that. No. 11 in a row. They are feeling comfortable.
Wipe it up, boys. Finish this one up. Should be easy.
I mean, they're a map down in the series, and I wouldn't have expected it. You eliminate the score at the top. You kind of expect, if this is a best of 3, the team that had the better performance on the first map, maybe has a bit more momentum, but no. It's complete role reversal. Hard Legion are bouncing back in a big, big way, and they're not done. They're still fighting for banana control and winning those fights consistently.
Yeah, Kinky wants a bit of the action here now as well. He's bored of Sviat and Krad having all the fun. But Sviat is going to retake his position on Banana, quite aggressive in front of the wall. Does pick up 1 more, and that does leave the opportunity for Fate in complete tatters. Flashbang is going to be coming on through, but Krad, he doesn't need it. He's lining up already. He knows where someone is. There comes your flash. Great one there from Sviat. He wants to be able to help out his team, just so everyone can share a bit of the love that is getting frags in CSGO. Krad hunting for Han now. Knows that he's got an AWP, knows where he is, and he isn't able to hit the shot. A 12-3 half on Inferno of all maps. I have a feeling this is going to be a quick and clean one for Hard Legion.
Yeah, it's hard to see it going any other way. The player we were singing the praises of as well from Fate, I mean... Yeah,
I knew it was 12 rounds. I seriously knew it was 12 rounds, but on the scoreboard, that looks ridiculous.
We were singing Nicky's praises at the end of the first map, and he has kind of fallen off. Patrick leading the way, but I don't even think you can put too much stake in the individual frags for Fate. Just the fact that they haven't been able to claw together any rounds off the back of it, they're all pretty inconsequential, especially when Hard Legion have just been performing over towards Banana. I mean, they just make it look so simple.
It's simple stuff like that. It literally is. It's finding that first frag, having your teammate ready and waiting to be able to flash along for you. And it's just like, oh, okay, flash has gone through. I'm going to peek it. I know for a fact the player that's down there is going to be blind and easy frag for me. It's just team communication is just on point for Hard Legion now. They had a rough start to their day. There's no question about that, losing 2 maps back to back. But now they've been able to basically storm out of the gates, coming onto Inferno. And if they can win this pistol round, I don't see them losing this map. Caster's curse, of course, but...
No, I'm right there with you. No, we'll see if Fate can buy themselves a lifeline. Keep themselves in it. Pistol's the start of that. Ooh, the flash, it's good, but Kinky still gets away with a frag. Even while full blind, it's a 1-for-1 exchange. Given the circumstances, that is still a net positive for Hard Legion. While Krad, damage on towards Pit. Forrester pushing forward. He capitalizes on the A bomb site. That's cracked open.
Yeah, the rotate now from Fate has to come all the way down Banana. They're going to have to push through mid to be able to reclaim this bomb site. But the bomb hasn't gone down as of yet, so maybe if they can storm this quickly, they do have an opportunity. Or not. Forrestar's just absolutely ruined both of these 2 players. There's a lot of damage onto Nicky, but Sviat is the one who picks up the pieces. The 13th round for Hard Legion, now just 3 rounds remaining. And if we cast our minds back to the Hard Legion versus... crazy game.
I'm just going to say, I'm pretty sure those 2 teams are the opposite way around. I don't usually question Loop Bet. Our partners are usually very good, but I think our graphic is just slightly the wrong way around because there is absolutely no way that is accurate. The Hard Legion very, very likely to win the game. And so if you split those statistics over, you flip the odds over, it makes a whole lot more sense.
I hope they're wrong.
I'm giving them the
going on
benefit of the
Loot Bet
doubt
now.
here. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here. Are they watching the same game we are? Either way, Fate not winning that pistol, that is dire straits. Like you said, I don't believe that there's much of a chance of a long road comeback. Not when Hard Legion are performing like this.
Yeah, it's jittery. He's just like, where's my frag? Where's my frag? Peek me, I want to get more. Blocker up close to that MP9. I favour that over the MAC-10, but, well, I favour the AK over both of them in complete honesty. Forrester are able to take down Blocker. Ships and Harm, sorry, should I say, holding on at the A site, and they're about to be surrounded by 5 T-sided players with full weaponry. 3 AKs and ships. Ooh, quite aggressive. Finds that hit. Not able to recover the weapon. Forrester through the smoke picks up 1. Make that a second as well. And now Patrick in a 1 versus 3. Deagle in hand. Full armor available as well. Potentially could rotate round to find a weapon, but it's going to come head first into Crad, who's looking to complete wrong direction.
Still 2 more players to find Forrester with 3 kills thus far. He finishes off the 4K, brings Hard Legion to 14. Very little doubt in our minds that this ends up on a 3rd and final map out of the lowers bracket. This is, yeah, I don't know what the solution is here for Fate. They needed it on the C side, and yeah.
So that's the, is that the C?
I think that's maybe the series. Yeah, maybe. I'm still questioning. I'm still questioning our partners because
I think Hard Legion can do this.
Yeah,
we said
I agree.
this, right? We said that okay, if Hard Legion drop the first map, it goes to a best of 3, or if it goes the distance, it goes to a best of 3. And so far, that's what we're seeing. Han, mate, befriend a chicken. Hopefully they take sympathy on you and just have fun with your friend. Yeah. You're not winning this round. You've got a USPS against 5 AKs. Saviet's the closest one to death, but he's still on 32 HP.
Yeah, so that was the full match winner odds that we got to see. So maybe there's a little bit more that we can put stake into it. But yeah,
so, but
Hard Legion just have so much momentum on this map. I am worried. I'm worried for the man at Loot Bet. 15-3. That is a very, very convincing scoreline. And, I mean, we talked a little bit about how Fate, out of their opening game of the group, 16-6, I think it was, that they found themselves into the lower bracket with. So, although that was probably a bit closer, far more clutches, that same story cannot be applied here. Hard Legion have been in control for the entirety of the game. This is Last Chance Saloon. This has to be the buy that brings them forward. 12 rounds in a row. Let's go.
It's the dream. If they can make 12 rounds in a row, that would be outstanding. I don't think I would have seen a comeback this hard, considering how decimated they've been getting, but ships falling quite early on with no trade damage onto Crad whatsoever does not fill me with too much confidence. Molotov going down. Crad is so confident! He just rushed through fire and still gets damage down to 44. Blocker, you try and do something that Fiat can do down on Banana, but you're in a completely position, and it's not worked out well for you. Nicky does finally take down Kinky, but it's too little too late, I feel. Nowhere to be seen. Holding down Banana. If we could see in-game chat, I would assume GG's would be called right now. Get it over and done with, but look towards Dust 2. That is going to be our 3rd and final map, but what an outstanding performance from Hard Legion, considering it was 16-9, and they basically got shut out in the 2nd round on Train, and they've been able to rebound completely back into this. Han wants to take this AWP home. He doesn't want to lose it.
He's trying to pad the stats a little bit. I don't think he's favoring his chances. He's looking to Dust 2 as well. Yeah, this is I mean, that's a crazy rebound to have. The recovery, the mental fortitude to do so is something that cannot be understated. And well, just overall, I think giving less respect to their opponents. The fact that they were taking fight after fight, not backing away, not backing down from the challenges, just taking those fights and seeing where it kind of carried them. And, well, if they keep winning those fights, they're just going to keep taking them. Every single time, it's like, okay, I have a small doubt in my mind. I have a sliver of doubt that this might not work out. that just evaporates when it works out consistently for your team.
Yeah, and that's literally what we saw, right? It was consistency from Hard Legion. They dropped the first 3 rounds. That's basically
after losing the pistol.
That is it. Then they won 16 rounds in a row. That doesn't happen. You should not be doing that. That wasn't a 16-3. Realistically, that wasn't 16-3. That was a 16-0. They lost pistol. They rightfully lost the next 2 rounds. They didn't drop a single round off the back of that, showing that Fate shouldn't have picked that map against them. Yeah, they dropped it against Crazy, but again, we've said time after time why that happened. They got complacent, and that clearly did not happen there. Overall match stats, Nicky barely added any more from that previous map on Train. I believe he added 9, considering he got 10 AWP kills alone on Train. And now Crad's up to 44.
Yeah, he's surpassing. He's showing us exactly why Hard Legion were kind of one of the favorites coming into our opening game of the day, and they are certainly not out of the Malta vibes yet. If they've forced a map 3, we end up on Dust 2. The 2 teams with similar map pools, they take each other's map picks, but one far more convincing than the other. We have Dust 2 coming up just after a break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, it's back with the Malta vibes, brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. We've had two interesting maps, to say the least. They've been very, very closely knit into. I don't know, man. I really want to hype up both teams, but right now I'm all Hard Legion. The fact
Oh
that
yeah,
they pull it back 16-3 is phenomenal on that second map. But the first map, that was all Fate.
yeah. The first map, it was. I mean, we say it was all fate. It was kind of back and forward
Yeah,
quite early
yeah.
on into it, right? Whereas on our second map, Inferno, that was a 16-3 in the best sense. It was 3 rounds to Fate, then 16 rounds to Hard Legion. Fate did not have a say in Inferno at all. And we were talking quite early on into this, I believe it just pre-train, that certain teams can get into mentalities, especially lower down the spectrum, like in maybe like tier 5, tier 4. But obviously, we're in like the tier 2, like teetering on tier 1.5 level right now with teams. So the fact that they've been decimated 16-3 on their map pick, it shouldn't affect them as much as some of those lower teams, but it will still like very much hurt their mentality moving into Dust 2, our final map.
Yeah, especially when you kind of factor in how Inferno was lost, right? Challenge after challenge being won by individuals on the Hard Legion side. They were setting up for sort of team play oriented sort of flashbangs and utility. So it wasn't completely isolated, but the be all end all is that you win one fight, you take another fight, you win that one too. That seemed to be the story for most of the Hard Legion players, and Fate could do nothing to stop it. And I've kind of had this conversation with Tea Time as well. The fact that there is this sort of stigma attached to Dust 2 in that it is so aim heavy and so individually focused that this is worrying now for Fate, because they showed a good amount of potential in that first map.
Yeah, we just saw on the screen, obviously, the stats for Crad for Hard Legion. Just to move back to Inferno again quickly, 158 ADR across that entire game. That is brilliant. 25 frags over, what was it, 19 rounds. So that's more than a frag around, almost 2 frags every single round. And yeah, he topped up all the stats again, once again on HLTV. Most kills, most damage, most assists, most first frags, best rating out of 2. We got 2.23. Potentially one of the best games he's ever had. And it's understandable because he borderline carried Hard Legion throughout that entire game. There were some fantastic performances from everyone else as well. Let's not get that twisted at all. But Fate just didn't turn up. Fate were asleep at the wheel. There is literally... They cannot allow themselves to be in any of that mindset moving into this next game. If they even have a smidge of what that we saw in Inferno, they've lost. Hard Legion will win this 2-1, sorry.
Yeah, and you didn't have those big performances like you'd expect to see from the likes of from Harn or Nikki either, really coming up big. I think we saw Harn win the 1 versus 3 with the AWP on Train. That really helped them get some more rounds under their belt. We had a great performance from Nikki on that first map as well. Those same performers, I mean, it wasn't there. And so who do you then call to? I mean, you've got Blocker, who's been kind of like a consistent, able to do quite a lot in the mid round, but still, there's so many facets to the Hard Legion camp at the moment that I don't think Dust 2 is shaping up to be a good one unless we get that full mental reset, right? I can't count out the fact that their first game of the day was kind of a similar scoreline, right? 16-6.
Yeah.
But they come into this series, they win it 16-9, only for it to kind of repeat itself.
I wonder, do you have the map that they played? It was Overpass, wasn't it?
It was Overpass
16-6 that they played, which stereotypically as well, especially in the most recent meta, is one of those games that goes a distance almost every single time. I can't count on my 2 hands how many games I've casted recently where Overpass has gone to overtime, simply because it is an incredibly balanced map. And the fact that Fate are losing 16-6 on a map like that, and then coming back, winning Train, some nice performance from them, but then getting brutalized on Inferno, it does just lead me to believe that, okay, Hard Legion have got this. They're in a decent mindset. They are going to move into this being like, right, okay, let's wipe this up, guys. It's 16-3 in that previous game, won 16 rounds in a row. Let's just do the same thing on Dust 2, which, considering how aim heavy it is, and I like the fact that you mentioned some of the players from Fate as well, Blocker being one of them, who was very prevalent on that first map of Train. But was the bottom fragger and literally bottom of the leaderboard from Fate and the entire game on Inferno. So we need to see a significantly better performance from him, and all round just a better performance from Fate.
Yeah, they seem to get dismantled on that map. Hopefully there's a bit more of a rally. We get a further game ahead of us, because if Hard Legion are able to replicate that same aim performance, then Dust 2 is looking dire. Starting on the T side, I think could do a lot for the Fate side, but given that they win this knife round and 90 something, I want to say 90 odd percent. It's a made up statistic, but I'm going to go with it anyway. They'll pick the CT side just so that they can get a bit more of a feel for how the map should go. I believe starting on the T side could go a long way. Get the confidence flowing, you know, start to maybe realize that that whole map's behind you and you can do what they did to you on this map in particular. But hey, they actually do they? Yeah, they start on
it's flipping and flopping all over the place. Yep, Fate is going to be on the T side.
On the T side. Excellent.
Okay. So yeah, your prediction was right. Wait, no, your prediction was wrong.
Yeah, my made-up statistic was wrong. It's because it was made up. I've discredited it. But
I mean,
hey,
you discredit it as it started, but that's fine.
Well, who we can't discredit, though, are our partners over at LootBet. Of course, they still favor Hard Legion. You can certainly understand why, for all the reasons we have just talked about. There is a lot to prove here for the Fate side. And starting the T side, they control the pace. They can maybe get off to a good start, but Rage opening up the round for Hard Legion.
Yeah, nice start from him there. Crad is going to have to fall back down towards ramp. And, oh, okay. Okay, just a couple of those. Fantastic. 1, 2, make it a third. Why don't you? He's got a little bit of backup around him as well to be able to help out. Rage picks up his second. Han in a 1 versus 4. Well, makes it a 1 versus 4. Make that a 1 versus 3 now, as he's picked up 2 frags to his name. Does indeed have the bomb, so could rotate round towards the B site if he wishes. Hasn't spotted out anyone inside of CT as of yet, but if he crosses, Sevilla could pick him off. He needs to be careful about how he plays the rest of this. A lot of time, so we can play on some of these angles, wait for some pushes. Hopefully, one of the Hard Legion players gets a little bit too overzealous. If we can bring it to a 1 versus 2 and instead of a 1 versus 3, I do favour his chances.
He's waiting for someone to get information on the Hard Legion side, but that person to get information was Crad. He long flanked through B. He's cleared the site now, and while Harn will catch Fiat off guard, Crad is in from the back lines from under that B site. 3 kills for him, 2 for Rage. Hard Legion take the pistol.
Yeah, look at this from Crad. It's great defense as he jumps off his quite close angle and just repositions perfectly. Rage with the rotate helping out there as well, and just shuts down that short push. We can't take anything away from Han there. Did a really good job of re-rotating and picking up 3 kills. Definitely not a position that Hard Legion wanted to be in. Of course, they don't lose basically anything, in complete honesty. It's pistols. Armor would have been nice to take on through, but they've still been able to provide themselves with what best is described as a full buy, I suppose. It's MP9s across the board with the exception of Crad.
Oh, nice silver lining for the Fate side. There's a tag on Kinky. It seems like there's a bit of a tag on Chips as well from...
Team damage, love that.
Yeah, a little bit of team damage, but I think that should go all too far. Kinky taking Sanctuary in that B bomb site. Fate, obviously, with just the pistols. They've got that 1 rifle, aforementioned. And a timely smoke deployed from Hard Legion over towards short. See it? Ooh, I don't know if he spotted the player.
Oh my lord!
Okay.
What? Okay, Blocker was completely blind, but still hits that 1 tap. Great job of holding that angle. Let's see what Forrester can do, holding absolutely nothing right now. Ships is trying to find one over towards the A site, but no dice as of yet. Kinky was dropped down relatively low quite early on into this, but he's still able to find a single frag on the B site. They want to stop this from being a retake if they can. Hearn and Patrick pick up frags of their own, but now Rage in a 1 versus 2. Picks up himself an AK, upgrades it. Now with 29 bullets in the clip, needs to try and find a couple of these frags. He definitely has the weapon advantage. If he can spot the head of Blocker, it's going to be a great day for him, but nothing as of yet. He needs to be incredibly careful how he plays around this. Not much utility, well, none at all. For the CT side, a single flash for Blocker if you want to shut that. The spam through the smoke, not going to connect. Rage needs to try and push this. Does indeed now have a defuse kit, picks it up off the ground. Got to be looking for at least one opening pick here, but instead saves the AK for the next round. Cannot be dying to harm there. If he can get the exit frag, he's going to be happy. But that brings us level. Fate already off to a bad start. And what we saw But on Inferno. Spam to be able to potentially take down Blocker, but only dropped him down to 11.
We need to have a talk. These anti-ecos, map to map to map, have been pretty poor. They have been pretty poor altogether. That's obviously still great news for Fate. The fact that that being a consistent facet of this series happens to ring true. They tag the player over towards B, so it was a weakened bomb site. They get some good timing as well. I think Crad pushed through long while they were going for that B split. So, some fortunate stuff for Fate, but, I mean, look at Hard Legion. They're trying to get in their face. Nikki at least able to punish.
Crad does pick up one with the scout. Oh no, it's only tag damage onto ships, dropping down to 27, but that's been communicated through, so that is going to be quite confident that he can pick up a frag if he wants to peek through double doors. Not going to be the case, though. Forrester holding close to tunnels. Here's the movement. Here's the utility coming down. Are they going to check the angle? They don't. Oh, wow, the double dig. One from both sides. Waiting for fire. They aren't able to recover that 8 as of yet, though. The shots rain on through for Forrester, but translate into a frag. AK not going to be recoverable, and Blocker picks up that final frag. A second round for Fate. They will not go quietly into the night.
A much better round. Playing it patient as well against those pistols, making sure to break the crossfire inevitably. Well, it looked a little bit dicey. Fate keep those 3 players alive and have that minimum to get their economy rolling. Now Hard Legion just on the pistols, some utility bot forward. Would have liked to see a flash in there. At least if there was a nade bot from Forrester, somebody buy an accompanying one, such that they can throw something a little bit tricksy. But, well, Crad has found Patrick, and it's not a welcoming sign. Oh my goodness, Rage, he might have just found the timing. There's that solitary nade. I take it all back. They've pushed, and they found those kills over towards B. Now it's just all about whether they can capitalize. It has to just be Forrester, the 1 versus 3. He has an AK in hand. Does he go for this?
I do not know why Rage continued holding long there. Should have just rotated around to Forrester.
Kinky,
there's another AK drop. Oh, was it Kinky? My apologies. But nevertheless, Forrester with this AK available has a Molotov drop from one of these Ts now as well, but needs to be careful about that short player Patrick is holding. Waiting for the jump onto Xbox. I wonder if he's going to be expecting Forrester from this angle instead. I don't think so. And, does spot his shadow, but isn't able to turn it into a frag. Forrester runs for the hills, allows a 3rd round to go to the way of Fate, but saves this AK in the process.
Yeah, given how much time was chewed off of the clock looking for that peak and how much damage he took, very easy to see why he's gone for this decision. And why Fate are not hunting is to build up that economy. Another 1 round, an expensive one, though, for Fate. They cannot continue and run away with their T-side economy. And they've subjected an AK into Hard Legion's hands. Rage on the AWP. This is what we want to see. This is exactly the focal point it has to be for Hard Legion. A very op-centric map. One in which the Opera can just get away with absolute murder. And we've seen it quite a few times in the Malta vibes. So we'll have to see whether he's able to live up to that. Harn with the SG, though. Not committing to an op of his own.
So yeah, a slow start from him. We saw him be the absolute standout player on Inferno, still yet to frag so far. Kinky, close and personal. Okay, Nikki, come on, that was silly. You need to be checking that angle. You can't just push through double doors and no information like that. Ray's trying to find at least one with the AWP. Sees that the smoke's down, so I think he spots the head. Oh, he does, but isn't able to connect the shot. Tries to reposition, sees the shots raining on through from Pitt, spots the head once again, but just wants to play it slow. Oh! Okay, swinging peek from Hearn there to be able to finally take down the Orpha. Could recover that for himself if he wishes. This opens up the A bomb site, though. There's still a lot to go through, but it does seem like Fate on a complete tear on this A bomb site. 3 versus 3 now, though. They've traded a couple of frags back. The bomb goes down. Hearn's still inside a pit. We see Crad pushing directly on through. They still haven't checked pit. Hearn's the last guy remaining. The site still yet to be dominated by the CTs. They push on through. Oh, Hearn don't fall back at just the right time. Got that one, the former Kviat. Sorry, Svat, but not able to find the job. That is Forrester who gets the shot instead. 2 kills from in this round. The second round for Hard Legion, but that should have been Fate's to win.
Yeah, they get such good distance into that side, but just losing the retake angles. Some great shots hit by Hard Legion to push on through. The flashbang as well. The fact they played that 2v1, making use of the elevation and holding onto that all the way through such that a trade was available. They played that 2 versus 1 to a T. But Fate, yeah, that could have very easily been a round they run away with. He started out with the right signs, though, from Hard Legion. A couple of opening frags. That was a 3 versus 5 that was recovered by that T side. But look at the aggression in through middle. Again, Kinky is unchecked. He just seems to mastermind his way around the angles, knows where Fate's going to clear, or rather where they won't, and positions himself right there.
I know we said that this map is very aim-centric, but that doesn't mean you turn your brain off, right? You can't just sprint down through mid completely dry with only a smoke covering you. You breach through that smoke and you're destroyed by either the AWP or the M4 that's holding on the angle. And that's what we've seen. It's only been Kinky and Rage who have picked up frags here, and that's because they've all just rushed through mid doors. It's Hearn and Patrick, the last 2 guys remaining. If they can pick up a single frag each, then hey, they won't be too sad. It will hurt the economy of Hard Legion. It might force one of them to not be able to buy in the next, but ideally they should have been looking to win this, considering where their economy's at.
Flash on through a bit of information gathered by Hard Legion, trying to decipher where these Fate players will go. 45 seconds, not a whole lot of map control to speak of, and with Crad pushed in through towards A long, the Shadow will make this favorable in every sense of the word. I don't think Fate want any hand in this round, though. They're backing away. They don't really seem to have much pace to them. It's just about saving, I think.
Most likely here. Crad doesn't want to give them that, though. Ooh, this is the shot right between the legs. Crad is going to be able to push up a little bit, but oh, actually, nah, no time on the clock.
Yep.
If they begun their push, maybe they would have had an opportunity on the B site, but they're just going to save. It's going to be 3-3. It's Hard Legion do level out the game in our final map. Going to force Fate back down to pistols on 3.
And I was talking about my discussion with T-Time about how I think this is an aim-centric map. He would argue otherwise. I think he thinks, or he's been making the argument, rather, that there is a level of depth that is sort of untapped, I think, primarily. I think in the current state of things, when you look at quite a few of the teams that do pick into Dust 2, there is a bit more nuance to it, and that there are some strategies that have sort of been unexplored or untested, but strats are not. If you hit the shots you need to, that can certainly pave a path. Chips on the corner with the AWP, winning the opening duel. That's a high-impact player to get rid of as well. So Hard Legion are looking for a bit more space elsewhere.
Oh, Kinky should have really picked up that frag there. A little bit too patient. I usually praise players for trying to find the extra information, but too much respect put on the name of Fate in that situation. Nevertheless, even though this was just couple of pistols for Fate, they've been able to upgrade that.
Do they flank the flanker?
Potentially. I mean, Blocker's running around right now, so you would think that Sphere is going to be able to find him here. He's checked it. Oh, he's checking it now, but oh, okay. Blocker, a lovely 1D there, and well, that might just solidify the round. Crad is yet to move, still just holding behind this box. Forrestar still holding as well. Hard Legion don't want to count themselves out of this as of yet. There's no utility whatsoever, Yumi. I don't think there's an opportunity here for them. Crad with a 1-tap. The spray continues. A lot of damage, but it's just not going to be enough. Patrick closes it out, takes down Forrestar, secures a 4th round for Fate. Well, this scoreline's a lot more reminiscent of Train than it is Inferno. Quite back-to-back. These rounds.
Yeah, we'll have to see how things transpire. That's actually very unfortunate, right? The fact that Sviat, in a 3 versus 5, right, he's looking for some semblance of a way back into the round, and he thinks he has the flank. He thinks he has him contained towards long, and then he gets flanked himself. Up shot connected by Blocker. Not enough to take Forrester down, but he is a slither of health away from meeting his demise.
He's not really going to be in this round, I don't think.
Yeah, it's just pistols.
For information. I mean, yeah, it is just pistols at the end of the day, right? There's not too much being in the round you can do when your USPS is up against AKs, but maybe Sviat can find a frag. Isn't going to be able to find an opener. But Nicky's still hunting.
Goodbye.
Oh, the nade at the feet thrown into the ceiling. Completely launched. Blocker does finally pick up that frag onto Kinky. What else are they going to be able to find? Forrester trying to pick up one on the B-bomb site of only 11 HP. It's not looking particularly likely. Rage on the long rotate. They are just trying to pincer single player on A. Patrick takes out Forrester. I think that definitely seals the deal.
Yeah.
Potentially a team ace if Hearn can get this frag though.
I don't think he's going to be given the chance. Rage is running away. Doesn't want them to get that lift in confidence. I mean, kind of talk about a round like this. It's not really that impactful, right? It's about getting it over and done with. But doing some damage to that economy can certainly go a long way. And while there wasn't really a big deal of effort put in by the Hard Legion players to sort of group up, overwhelm maybe 1 or 2 players just to make the economy a little bit more strained, there is at least a good level of caution being predicated by the Fate members. They're not over hunting. They know there's nothing of value gained by saving for Rage.
Fate now. 2-round lead, but can't say I still favour them to win this. They've put up a significantly stronger showing than what they did in our previous map, but there's still some life in Hard Legion. Oh, I'm not going for the opening pick. Blocker is, though. Blind flick, Crad dead. Rage picks up one of his own inside of mid as well, though. So, not going to go without the trade. It's a bit of trade damage, though. It's down to 45, so should be an easy pick for one of these weapons on Fate, considering Nicky has an M4 instead of the more powerful AK.
They've been going for that corner peek quite a lot. I'm surprised Crad tries to buddy hop his way out. Could be a costly decision. Kinky, the forward position over at long, though,
nice.
Unchecked by Patrick. Blocker not really close enough to contest that position. They've even called for Sviat to contest the corner. Blocker's trying to contain this player in, eventually get that refrag, but Sviat's left him alone. Yep, Blocker hits that shot as he begins the reposition, and still it's equal numbers.
A lot of utility to use there, but just didn't. And even if they hit Rage's leg, it would have taken him down, but
yeah,
it's clearly not going to be the case. Rage does pick up Nicky. Sviat on the rotate now, going to be pushing up short, trying to catch someone off guard. As we see the 2 Fate players, both with AWPs, out towards long. One inside a pit, one just peeking. They haven't got too much time left on the clock, though. Hard Legion already in post-plant positions for this retake. But if they can stop it before it goes down, they're going to be pretty happy with that.
The nades are out.
Yeah, they're ready for this retake. They're just setting up for it. They know that they can't fight these AWPs in initial situations. Double stack nade is not going to do too much. The flick there from Hearn. Great shot to be able to take down Tia. Another shot from Blocker. These AWPs are doing wonders, but Rage is indeed going to be able to close out the round. Picked up 3 frags there and brings a 4th round under Hard Legion's belt.
A really close round for both sides. The fact that Blocker is hitting shots with the AWP in that, and Rage as well is doing such a good effort for Hard Legion. It came down to who could pull back the bolt faster, who fired off the shot slightly quicker than the other. And well, Rage will come out ahead, narrowing that lead. Yeah, we're getting a completely different story. More reminiscent of Train, sure, but different scorelines overall. The fact that it is back and forth shows just how dialed in the 2 teams are. We're getting Fate now reawoken after such a grueling loss on the secondary map. Rage, though, with the AWP, he springs to action for the opening kill once again on the AWP.
Remember, this is tournament life on the line.
Yeah.
This is, whoever loses this is out. At least the week's event. Oh, okay. Nice shot there from Blocker to be able to take down Rage. Kinky, you got to check the angle. Oh, he checks it just a little bit too fast. Doesn't actually register there's a player there, but okay. Nice spray down from Sviat, and it looks like Ship was just, had no idea what was going on. Patrick going to be pushing all the way onto the A site from short. Crad, while holding long, spots out two. Does pop flash them, but trying to find one of them. Hasn't seen anything as of yet. Yes, your crosshair is on his head. Spam blocker. He does get him against a second as well. The fourth hand. This smoke is working as a one-way. And is he going to be able to finish the job? No, that's going to be Sviat who does. Bringing us completely level again, Yumi. It's 5-5. Hard Legion. Not going down yet.
That is so ridiculous. The fact that he's contesting long as well. At that point, most players would sit back, hold on to long, prepare for the retake. Crad, he sees there's a smoke at car, he just jumps on top of it. He throws the flash over, they lose track of him, and he just has a shooting gallery. That one-way works perfectly for him, and I ultimately brought them back into the round. Great adaptation, some brazen play. At Fate, they want to take control of long to start off the round. They don't want Crad in a similar position into a late round again.
Quite aggressive here, straight off the bat from Fate. They're trying to gain long control instantly, and it looks like that's succeeded. Really going to be holding it. Spams there from Spear, but the nade does tons of damage as well. Crad going to reposition, and oh, head ripped clean off his shoulders. Spear with the nade does manage to take down Blocker. Looking for more heads. Is he going to be able to find them? No, he's not. Forrester picks up one. Now a 2 versus 4 round is looking like it's going to be Hard Legion, but the bomb going down and Nikki getting absolutely ruined by that nade. Hearn, all you've got is a scout buddy. You've got to line up 4 of them in a single shot, and it's just not going to happen. It's a 6th round for Hard Legion. They finally take themselves into the lead.
And that's a stability round, right? 4 players stay up. They make sure that Fate suffer, and it shouldn't be a deep buy from this T side. Likely around 1,500, 2K. That's the sort of sweet spot. And while there's been a fair amount of anti-eco rounds that have gone askew, by now, surely the anti-eco goes in a more traditional sense, because it is just these pistols.
Hope so.
Have they learned nothing, maybe?
Potentially not. Who knows? Blocker getting dropped down incredibly low. Rage should be able to find that frag. Yep, nice flick from him. Fully expects that push from Patrick inside of mid, but some of his teammates Molotov that does a strong majority of damage. The nade as well. Ooh, not able to find anything. Crad lurking up, as you do. He's inside a T-spawn. He's trying to find people inside the top mid. Harm, though, hasn't been spotted out. If he can rotate round and take him down, that'll be a M4 in this, so an opportunity for Fate, but it doesn't look like that's particularly going to happen. The 2 players inside the mid are already quite low. Rage can tickle them with this AWP and take him out.
If we end up in another position where the flanker gets flanked, it's going to be very, very disappointing. I think Crad's privy to it. Yeah, he's turned around towards spawn, so not going to quite happen the same way. And yeah, the bomb is at his disposal. And while they have a relatively open B-bomb site, Forrester was their only point of pass. Crad will seal in the round.
It's happened. Hard Legion have been able to beat Fate when Fate are on a pistol round.
Yeah.
It's worked.
Without conceding too many players either. So yeah, it's taken us a long while. I mean, I feel like it's slowly chipping away at my sanity. But yeah, it's finally goes the way it's supposed to. Of course, where you should be going, where you're supposed to, is Hellcase. It's one of our great partners, and it's the biggest, most well-known case opening website with almost 100 cases, updated case battles, dozens of giveaways per month, and more absolutely unique features. Don't get bored with Hellcase, and you can use promo codes to save more and grab what you deserve. And Fate have already grabbed 2 quick kills in this round to start things off. After Hard Legion just had a great anti-eco, Fate are bouncing back with the buy.
Grabbed Hard Legion by the throat and just said, we are winning this round. 2 very quick frags out long, one inside of short as well. And they've got the world to play with here, considering the B site, nobody's there. There's a single player on A, and now there's one rotating all the way through tunnels. The second that Kinkui peeks on this, he could get spammed down by ships. He's spotted him out, just has to take a couple of sprays for it, but does manage to finish the job. Forrester now in a 1 versus 4. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to close out this round for Hard Legion. They can have a full buy either way, so I feel like Forrester might just go for this, try and get some exit frags, hurt the economy of Fate.
but he can't buy the AK on the CT side. So
I
maybe
think so.
maybe he holds more stock in that than you do.
Well, Patrick's about to rip that stock clean out of his hands if he peeks this corner. Yep, Forrester wasn't even expecting it.
Yeah, he should have just gone for it. Yep, I take it all back. Who needs the AK? Either way, yeah, like you were saying, the buy from Hard Legion should still be coming out, given that they had a clean anti-eco in the round prior, and I think 3 alive the round before that, so still able to afford up all the bells and whistles, although I say that, Forrester, Rage, they've had to subject a few nades to the ether, so they cannot afford them. And well, Fate, they're going to continue on this kind of spawn-based spree that they're going for. Peak going towards long A, getting a bit of control via blocker, but the majority of the offense is set up outside of B, and Forrester, he's very, very close to the smoke. He's looking to get up close and personal, should it be in B-side execute.
Just waiting for this push, this utility to stave off the aggression from Fate. With this setup, though, the 4-1 split, it's looking almost certain that B is going to be the point of contention for Fate. We do finally see the push coming out from tunnels. Forrester does finally get checked. Shit. Head off. Spray coming on through from Kiki, though. Picks up one, looking for the second, not able to find it. Blocker picks up one, is down a mid as well. Now on a 4 versus 2. Sviat and Crad. Crad, you spotted anything as of yet? No, you hear the bomb getting tapped. Oh, I don't think anyone's seen you as of yet either. Oh, Nikki does just jump up. Has some for a weird 6th sense to be able to work out he's there. Now, Sviat, run for the hills, buddy. Save that gun. You're not going to have a buy next round if you don't. It's going to be 7-7. As we get as level as you possibly can in our first half, our final map.
Yeah, that's a great timing for Fate to have found themselves in. Fate, he gets 1 kill while trying to save this weapon. I expect the hunt here from Fate, but that execution was very much predicated on some utility being thrown by Hard Legion in the mid round. Neither team was being overly aggressive, and the fact that they take that time, hear the flashes in through middle, and decide that that's when they wanted to strike for that B execute is very, very, very good for them. That it only had to deal with that initial player in Forrester, and then they had a pretty much an open bomb site to play with because they had set up for an information play in middle.
Well, this could decide a few things. Who's going to be able to take the momentum moving into our second half? If Fate are able to take it, that sets them up pretty strong. Hard Legion, well, they'll be continuing that momentum from Inferno, which I feel like we've kind of teed it off at this point. Patrick able to get a nice frag on Sphere. Patrick, oh yeah, scouted down by Crad inside of mid. It's definitely not the best of buys for Hard Legion in this round. But they're still putting up a fight. 3 versus 3. Rage with the AWP. Can still find some of these picks as he begins pushing up short. Potentially going to find Blocker as he gets a little bit too deep inside the lower tons. But yeah, he does indeed able to find him. Kinky, you need to check to your left, buddy. You need to push him through. They can hear you. Find the bomb planter, and he actually does, and the bomb doesn't go down. Now this leaves Nikki. He gets 1 spray. Doesn't know where Rage is, though. Smoke goes down to block off double doors once again. Rage has that Molotov. Can play for time. Knows that hasn't been crossed as of yet. Nikki's even up his position. Heard that movement. He can hear the rush straight onto the bomb site. And Rage could take him. Slow and steady wins the race, but Rage is yet to be seen. Bomb gets tapped once. Rage has to go for the peek here. Hasn't gone down as of yet. Molotov by the door. But Rage pushes straight on through. I wonder if Nikki hears him. He does. And somehow clutches out that round. The 1v1 goes to the way of Fate, and they take an 8th.
Great recognition there from Kinky. Just the fact that he pushes through via the Molotov and it's a 2 versus 2. They don't know if there's a fast flank available. That's why it came down to Nikki clearing the tunnels, leaving his teammate to fare for himself on the site. But a great clutch back from Nikki to seal in an 8th round. It's pretty back and forth. You see the score represented there, the fact it goes up, down, little sprees of rounds here and there for both teams. This is kind of what we came here to see. The fact that they take each other's map picks. Now they're on kind of middle ground territory. It's very much displayed on the scoreboard. But by and large, it does seem as though the individuals from Fate have emerged once again. We get to see Rage on that AW's, or sorry, rather from Hard Legion, we get to see Rage on that AWC, get to see Crad once again, but not quite in that same way that we saw on Inferno. No, not the whole team going ham all at once.
Slow push from Hard Legion. They don't want to be rushing too far. Ships, an easy pick inside of mid. He finds Forrester a little bit too out of his depth, it seems. Flash now going to be coming on through long, and we see that slow, methodical push completely change from Hard Legion. They start getting quite aggressive. We see another Flash going to be coming over. Patrick was ready and waiting for it, though. He touched down 3 of them. Okay, man. Get the force. You will deserve it. Outstanding from Patrick to be able to peek through that smoke. Let's look at that one again. Please say we got all of that on replay. Dodges the flash, peeks the angle, keeps spamming.
Oh my goodness.
Perfect.
It couldn't have gone any better for him. The smoke drops and he knows exactly where to aim. Loot bet, have they set their sights on the right winners for this game? Our partners seem to have an inkling that Fate are narrowly ahead. They give them that slight edge, and you can understand why. It has been back and forth. What a round from Patrick. It just transpired in the pistol. And now they're on the rifles. They heard that early rotation as well. Blockers pushed through. He's called their bluff, and he knows there's no presence towards A. Set your sights elsewhere, boys. They know that it's going to be a reposition, and Blockers even flanking them out.
Yeah, so much damage dealt there. He drops Kinky down quite low and is able to push for frag his own as well. Ships now just picking up the pieces of this from us. Forrester trades one through, but Hearn closes out the round. Forrester and Kinky, no opportunities for them here. It would be so heartbreaking for Hard Legion, right, if they're able to lose this map. They pulled out all the stops when it comes into map number 2. After a rough first map and, well, a rough best of 1 as well. To just lose at the final hurdle.
Yeah, and that's going to be a rallying round from the pistol for Patrick, right? That could be a momentum shifter for the CT side of Fate. First kill in from Ships. They're getting aggressive with these SMGs. The confidence is brimming from that CT side. They know that the weapons, the armor, it's not going to be there. They will fully capitalize. See it. Try as you might with the Glock. I don't think this is going to go all too great. And, well, yeah, the evidence suggests that that remains true. Forrester, can he get a sneaky kill? Does he get cleared?
Ooh. Maybe. Flash goes through. He has no idea. Ships has no idea. But jumping spray with that MP9. You took the words completely out of my mouth, Yumi. There's confidence just brimming from Fate off of that pistol round. The fact that they know that Hard Legion can bleed. They've taken a pretty substantial lead here. Patrick with that 4K has just basically lifted the entire spirits of Fate. The second they hit the CT side, they're running. It's 11-7 right now. We are now going to be seeing a full buy from Hard Legion, and well, if previous rounds are anything to go by, this should be the round that Hard Legion come back into this. But Mickey is looking to upset the apple cart with that spray, not able to find it straight on, but isn't going to stop there. Ships on the rotate. Smoked off inside of CT. Now the push all the way through, but he finds multiple. Does indeed find a first. Patrick backs him up. Kinky trades one back. Forrester one of his own as well. What else is in this round, though? That's a real question. Crad's he going to be able to find one more? Yes, he is. Nicky through the small gap and somehow knows that Patrick's there. Trades him down, but isn't able to transfer it into a frag as of yet. B bomb site. Going to be a tall order for Fate to be able to retake this one as Hard Legion. They have indeed brought themselves a lifeline in the 8th round.
I maintain that CSGO players could be pretty good detectives. You know, the evidence would suggest, you know, Patrick, that he was there earlier on. He repositioned and he was nowhere to be seen. So If you've eliminated every other option, where you cannot see, has to be the solution. These Hard Legion players, yeah, the lifeline
maths.
certainly bought. While we were just singing the praises of how Fate may have gotten a bit of confidence, a bit of morale boost after the pistol round, the doors of Fate may be shutting. Hard Legion, if they get their ball rolling on this T side, they get a bit more momentum under their own sails, they can put those rounds behind them. They know what they're capable of. They know that Inferno is a possibility. The scoreline may not reflect that anymore, but from here on out, Hard Legion sailing to the finish line. At least that's what they've got in their own mind.
I hope. AKs across the board for our T side right now. Look at the confidence from Fate again. Just a rush in mid, but Sviat rightfully puts shit in his place. Nicky, aggressive inside of lower tons. Does pick up a trade frag onto Crad. Looking for at least one more. He knows where he is. Kinky, you should have easily got that frag. Dropped down to 2 HP. Lucky to still be alive. Patrick pushed on through as well. The amount of ground that Fate have been able to cover in such a short period of time. Patrick does finally pick up that frag. Nades in through lower as well. Is he going to be expecting the rotate? Patrick, they're behind you, buddy. Oh, okay. Does manage to pick up one. Forrester with the trade. But it's just going to be enough. Forrester got around to jump straight out of that smoke, and he does get the elevated angle. But the spam from Blocker. Oh, golden. A 12th round for Fate. Now only 4 rounds in it for him.
I am so surprised that they go for a play like that. After Hard Legion fight back with their first gun round, they just get in their face. They want to take the fight to them, and although they get punished initially, the fact that they have swarmed through those B tunnels and are in multiple of these small crevices that need to be cleared out by now Hard Legion, the fact that Patrick gets 2 does a lot of work for them, but just the confidence to go for a push like that is ridiculous. Rage... Sorry, kill over towards long. At the very least, the Hard Legion start off on the right foot.
Yeah, they wanted to break any form of momentum that Hard Legion were potentially going to build off the back of that round win. And well, it doesn't seem like it's worked as of yet, as Nicky's the first one to fall here, even though it's not the best of buys from Hard Legion. Hearn does pick up one from a Forester, and oh, a trade frag there. It looks like Kinky picks up one of his own as well. Blocker, he's still hunting Crad, and it's not going to be the bomb down, but still going to be a player. Could have been quite influential in this round. Taken out. 3 versus 2 now. They're going to be coming on through from ships. It could connect on a couple if he can time this perfectly. Oh, it doesn't need to. Blocker just taps one down. 2 versus 2. It's a PT-50 versus an AK. I don't think there's any real chance that Savat wins this one, but he has dropped Blocker down relatively low. And ships up close and personal with Sviat and Rage. Begins just spraying them down. It's a 13th round for Fate. And that could have been the momentum breaker. Still a buy for Hard Legion if they really want it.
And it's not as if we're seeing the same exploits that Fate are going for or went for on their T side. They were constantly exploiting the fact that long control seemed to be an easy enough gander for them, going for multiple up-based picks or just spawn-based picks towards that position. And typically, if you have the better spawn, you will get there before that CT side. Hard Legion not able to capitalize on that fact as much. See it taking a lot of damage from a nade as well in through middle. They seem very interested in exploring this area, but just so much utility forcing them back.
Different play style here from Fate, slow and methodical instead of hyper-aggressive. Is this going to work in their favour? Is it not? They're holding these close angles on each site. And they've given up complete short control right now, which could bite them in the next few moments if we see an execute coming through from Hard Legion. They've got a great opportunity right now with no one holding on the A site. Of course, they have no idea about that at this stage. We still have Patrick and Nicky defending on B, fully expecting a push, but that clearly isn't the case. Well, I say that as we see at least one person push double straight through double doors in mid. Nicky spotted out one of them. The flash is going to go on over. He's going to be able to find a single frag here. It looks like Ships is going to be the one who tries to find something. Spots out Crad. He's been spotted out as well. Only 42 seconds on the clock now. We need to see a push from Hard Legion. Still no one directly on the A site. The only person holding it right now is Hearn. Is he going to be able to find this opening pick? If he doesn't, this could all fall apart. They push directly out onto the site. He misses the shot. He drops down to 71. Flash goes on through onto the site now as well. Patrick finds one to put with Savat. But Forrester still holding mid. The rotate from Crad. Are they going to be able to spot him out with the bomb going down? We're basically no trade frags either way. Crad finds one. Nicky finds another. It's 3 versus 4. The man advantage goes to the way of Fate. And it's completely turned around. Forrester shut down towards the tail end. 14th round for Fate. And they played that retake perfectly.
Yeah, they had that man advantage to play off of. They give them the site. I was surprised and caught out by just how rapidly they approached on the retake. It's just hot off that bomb being planted. But they didn't want Hard Legion to get away. They didn't want them to set up in these post plants, get a crossfire or a plan set up. They instead abrupt and dismantle any of that before it sees the light of day. And Fate, they are close. They are very, very close to at least guaranteeing that overtime. Of course, the money for Hard Legion, they can reinvest. No AWP once again for this Hard Legion side. And it's a shame. You hope to get Rage on that weapon as much as possible. He's been so impactful through this series, but they just don't have the money to do so. Hard Legion looking to get aggressive at the start of this round.
Sphere has fallen the same fate that Nicky did on our second map after top fragging for his squad and completely decimating the entire field. He is at the bottom of the entire game's leaderboard, only 7 frags to his name so far. He really needs to pick it up. He is an incredibly influential player on Hard Legion without him fragging the way we are used to him doing. Really is noticeable. Forrester. Wonder if they're going to check this corner for blocker. Khan is going to be the first place they see. Chase down Forrester, but they don't check it. Blocker sprays one down with the help of Ships. Spots out a second. He knows that Rage is there. He's completely whited. Does Blocker continue pushing this? They pop flash through the smoke. Are they going to push? No, they're not. Rage just needs to run for the hills. Has that bomb available. They know that the A site is clear now as well. Crad lurking around, trying to find something. Rage finds one inside a mid. That is Patrick, but he's getting hunted down. He can't keep taking these fights because now that he's dropped the bomb. Crad, he had the site open. Now on a 1 versus 4. I don't favour his chances. He picks up one of the bomb. Heard a second as well with Ships. And if he was able to connect that on blocker, what a comeback it would have been. But now it's 15-8. Fate just 1 round away from securing this best of 3 of their own. And let's have a look at this one again. Hearn finds that first frag, and it's blocker, along with the help of Ships, who close out everything else as it comes down to A.
Yeah, that's best case scenario. The baited attention by the AWP presence on the corner, and then blocker just does all the rest. It needs to be 7 straight, and with Harn starting things off with the AWP, it's not looking good. They get pit control, they get some sight or some space towards long, but that's it. That's the only real silver lining. Now with the kill in through middle, maybe they've got more of a chance. They equalize the affair, they draw a bit more attention elsewhere.
Yeah, maybe baiting this more towards the B site. We can see that Ships is beginning his rotate all the way around through tunnels. He's actually going to be lurking all the way around through T-spawn.
Yeah.
Harn is up close and personal now, though, with the AWP holding quite a close angle. Smoke goes down, so potentially gives away his position. Flash as well. Is he going to be able to find anyone? Well, he spots out Crad, but Crad sees him as well. Spam is there. It's minimal damage on Kinky. A no-scope could actually end the life of Forrester. He's dropped down low, but it's the spam from blocker that finishes it off. And Rage, all you've got is a scout buddy. You've been fantastic, but it's just too much. 16-8, your final scoreline, as we see Fate go through from the losers game.